good.
Okay. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Defend Your Units. I am your host, Johnny K. Picks, and alongside me is a special co-host, free UFC Bet Picks. How's it going? Are you looking forward to this card? What's some of the fights you're looking forward to, actually?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Good to see you again. I'm excited about the Tapuria fight. Always love seeing Slava Claus.
Oh, yeah.
There's some good ones, some tough ones, lots of debutantes and kind of guys that, even though you watch all their tape, it's hard to know how they're going to perform at this new level.
Game plan, fight IQs might be a little under par.
Yeah.
I'll be saying that a lot, trust me.
So some good ones, and it'll be capped off by, a jab teep session in the main event.
Perry. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the co-main. I think that's a cool fight. Definitely looking forward to the main event. Those are two good fights. I think a cool sneaky fight is Jack Jenkins and Gabriel Santos.
Mm-hmm.
Cool fight. I'm actually kind of interested to see some of these other ones too, like lower on the card, like Cody Steele and Rong Zhu. I think that'll be a cool fight. So I mean, maybe name value, a lot of UFC debutantes, like we said, but I think they will produce some cool fights. So it's fights. I think so. We can't complain. I mean, we can always, I guess, complain about it, but when the time comes, it's like, all right, I'm ready. Just give me something. Give me something.
Yeah. After those 4 weeks off we had during the holidays, it'll take a long time before there's a card I'm not excited about. Co-main event, like you mentioned, that's a tough one. It's crazy line movement. The bookies started it off as a pick 'em, which only lasted like 5 minutes, and then Wei Li was like minus 250, and now a slim dog. Perhaps the GOAT in her division as an underdog. We've all been so excited for Tatiana for so long. I'm like, that might be my most anticipated fight. Crazy line movement, really tough to pick.
Yeah, we'll get there. I don't want to spoil anything that I was gonna say, but man, I was waiting for Tatiana's like title fight for the longest time. But we'll get there. We'll get there. But let's go through the chat real quick. Say hi to everybody, and then we will get on to these fights. I believe that there's 13 of them, unless one just recently canceled. I hope not. But I didn't look on Twitter or anything in the last couple hours, so you never know. Let's see. We got There Will Be Blood, our guy. What's up, man? Let's eat, brother. Let's go. We got Derek Izzy down 275 units for the year with only one losing week. This is when I go profitable. Long live bad luck, Chuck. There you go. Yeah, we were just kind of talking about that before we got started. I always start out like slow and like maybe a little bit in the hole like the first couple months, but then I start picking it up a little bit. Even with my picks. My picks haven't really even been that good this year so far, but I always start to pick it up like in March, April-ish range. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I'm not down too much, but I'm down like a little bit, maybe like a unit and a half, nothing crazy. But we got Saba in here. What's up, Saba? My day's ruined. Yeah, Arsenal is they're just not good. They're not good right now, but a lot of injuries. So let's slay it all this week. Yes, sir. We got Dixon Cider, Johnny Baby. Didn't I tell you Shamil O'Neal was going to absolutely dunk on Thomas Jefferson? You did. And that was fantastic. And I remember that. And I laughed. He should change his name to Shamil O'Neal, though. That's awesome. I love it.
I thought it'd be closer. I thought it, might even go over. Good performance by, I call him Shlemiel.
Yeah, I actually kind of thought that fight would go a little extend into the second or maybe third, maybe even decision, because Thomas is pretty Thomas Jefferson. I always say Thomas Jefferson, but Peterson is actually pretty durable, but man, he got rocked right away, and it's hard to recover when you're a heavyweight. It just takes one. So
yeah, I think he's far more technical than Shamil too. I was a little surprised there. I picked Shamil because I
did too, but
I thought it might be a close fight, and then he'd get the robbery. But classic old Shamil, first round KO.
Yes, sir. That's all. It's basically if he doesn't get that first round finish, it's going to decision with wrestling. We got Ryan Jordan. What's up, Ryan? Defend your units. Let's go. We got Alex in here. What's up, Alex? Let's go. Sleeper card. Yeah, it could be. It could be a fun one too. Maybe all these young guys that making their UFC debuts, they just want to get a finish like Contender Series, and maybe we get some, maybe we don't. So, yeah, grateful dude. Appreciate the breakdowns. Appreciate you hanging out with us. We got 25. What's up, man? Just got notification that Johnny is live. Came to cross-check whether it's true. Let's go. It's always true. You always believe everything you on the internet. Whatever it says, you believe it. You'll get far in life. No, not really. SK, what's up, SK? Here to gloat to Johnny K about that Izzy bet. Yeah. I can't believe he got rocked like that, though. He was looking smooth until then.
Nasruddin needs to stop eye poking every single opponent,
dude. And I wish Izzy, and not to say that this would have changed any outcome of anything, but when I saw that and he like clearly like kind of waved him off, and I was like, I kind of wish he would have took a little bit longer, but it's okay. Everything's fine. He's looking good. He must be fine. And then bam, I'm like.
the Poetan Izzy kind of story is just, I think, one of the funniest, coolest, most fascinating things in MMA history. And so it's so funny to me that he tried doing a Poetan and got the exact similar result, but in the wrong spot.
Yeah, I know. It's like, oh man. But I don't think he's washed personally, but that's gonna take that hurts. That hurts. Because he was looking real good until that.
He looked good against Strikers too.
Yeah. Johnny Lipschitz, did you diagnose the staph on Strickland's left arm? I did see the picture of that, though. It kind of looks like it. But we'll see. Aiklin, what's up, man? Glad to have you guys back. Glad you showed up and hanging out with us. Appreciate you as always. Need to give you back. Yeah, you do need to get the Survivor Pool pick. You do. Sure, Paku, what's up, man? Appreciate you as well. And Damar, what's up, man? I missed the name of the guest. Always excited to see a new name in the space. It is free UFC Bet Picks, but if you don't know who he is, check him out on Instagram. You can check him out on Twitter as well, or X, and you can also on YouTube as well. And you're doing breakdowns, right, on YouTube?
Yeah, every now and then. It's tough.
Yeah,
this is so much work. Kudos to you, Johnny. People don't realize how much work it is, and
it is.
I do write-ups and like a lot. I do the graphic design. Like if you check out the Instagram, you'll see some of the work that goes into it. But so I don't always get to do YouTube. Last week I did a show and I was playing fight tape, and so UFC totally blocked the video, and so you can't even watch it. I got to figure out a way, because I create little vidyards of the fight tape for people who just want to watch fast, condensed, like 7-minute versions of fight tape. And so anyway, like I got to figure out a way to show those on the YouTube, but I totally put in insane amount of work last week just for the show to get blocked. But yeah, my name's Aaron. Free UFC Bet Picks on Instagram is the main place where we're at.
There you go. And he also has Patreon too. So if you're into that, definitely check him out on Patreon. So real quick, Paku, I'll be at the fights live this weekend. All right, that's going to be awesome. Got a great ticket and going to meet and greet with Marab, Alex, Junior Tafa, and Lopez. Nice. That should be fun. Have fun, dude, man. That's going to be awesome. Izzy looked like he gets gassed too easily. It ain't too thin. I mean, you'll see he does slow down a little bit in the later rounds, but it's nothing. I mean, I don't think it's nothing crazy, but I think everybody gasses out in the fourth and fifth rounds if they go hard enough. Let's put it that. Except Marab. He's the only one. But all right, let's start with the first fight here. Let's go. Okay, so here we go. I'm terrible with names, as you guys all know. So Hyun Young or Sung Park versus, this is a tough one for me, Niam Jargol Termendem Burrell. Hopefully that is good enough and you know who I'm talking about. Who do you like here?
Yeah, I'm on Park. Tumen Dembarel is a solid BJJ guy. Usually gets an RNC when he gets a submission, but he threatens knee bars. He's, a little thin for the division, long and wiry, and he's indeed going to have a 5-inch reach edge here, even though they're the same height. And he uses it. He's a decent wrestler. Like, he's decently well-rounded, but mostly a grappler. But he's had some trouble getting low-level guys down, like Kiram, and he got taken down by him, and that's not a good look. Kiram's like a total striker. Usually has good cardio, but he gassed in that fight as well. On the feet, he's aggressive, solid volume, lots of combos, very diverse. He'll throw like, jumping tomahawk elbows. Like, he's pretty fun fighter. But I'd say he's just not great anywhere. His footwork's not great, kind of plodding, his head straight up. And, we've seen him out wrestled. Whereas Park, I think he's similar, similarly well-rounded, but I think he's just better in all areas, is more powerful, lots of feints, lots of low kicks, good at taking the back standing or like in the middle of a takedown. He's just really good kind of scrambling and back takes from all positions, including like mid takedown, which is really impressive to me. So he can get a little like aggressive and overconfident, a little reckless at times, but he's hittable. So I think, Tumen Dembélé might have some good moments on the feet, but I think Park's just more dangerous and just better. I'm on Park.
Yeah, I'm on Park as well. I would say maybe a medium confident. Both these guys are kind of young in their career, in their UFC MMA careers, but I do like Park's grappling, wrestling. Sometimes he can struggle to get those takedowns, but I think he can get the takedowns here. He just needs to worry about I'll just say Niam's striking. He is very powerful. If he does land, he can knock you out. He's not very technical though. He does like to get in the brawl, so if Park doesn't get initiate with him, I think he'll be okay. And then the longer the fight goes too, I think I like Park's cardio a little bit more. Niam gets a little bit more reckless, if you want to say, a little bit more tired. So I already said he's not very technical, but that technicality just goes even lower a little bit. But like I said, give me Park to win. Wouldn't be shocked if it's a later finish, but I said by decision. I think both guys are pretty tough. I know Park and Niam have a lot of finishes in their career, on the resume, but this could be one where I think they kind of cancel each other out. But I just like Park's wrestling here, and I think he does implement that to win the minutes that way.
Yeah, Park's got eight finishes and 9 wins.
Yep.
The last fight he fought, maybe the least durable fighter in the division, Shannon Ross, and he hurt him a ton.
AKA my brother, Shannon Ross, supposedly. Everyone says I look like him. I don't know why.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
But he had Ross hurt a ton, but it took a little while to put him away. But overall, yeah, good finisher for sure.
Yeah. You think it's going to be a finish, or you think it's going to go to decision?
I would say, flyweights typically go to decision. I would think decision.
Okay. I like it. We got Stoned MMA. What's up, man? Appreciate you hanging out with us. Appreciate it. We got Eric in here. Strickland staff. What do you think? I mean, it looks like it, but it's just a picture. I'm not a doctor.
Staff's funny. I remember like money poured in on O'Malley because Merab had it, and Merab looked like he had plenty of cardio. So it's tough to know how it's going to affect guys. It certainly didn't look good.
Yeah. It looks like a pretty bad one. Let's put it that way. It's very evident.
I might sprinkle in thoughts about that fight as we go, because by the time we get to that fight, I'm going to be pretty lit. So,
okay, that's fine. What are your thoughts on Sean's goofy mustache? It's all right.
I think it's
goofy. It fits him perfectly. Yeah.
I think it's appropriately trashy.
We got 130 MMA in the house. Tyler, what's up, man? Only here for a few. Wanted to stop and drop a like and catch a few takes from you sharp attacks. We always appreciate you hanging out. If you don't know who 130 MMA is, though, check him out. Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. He does breakdowns for every promotion. So if you like PFL, if you like LFA, all that good stuff, he does it. So there you go.
I love his whiteboard.
Yep.
He
takes you back to school.
He's like he's in the gym every day. He's a coach and a trainer. He's a stud, and he's a nice guy. He doesn't just like trash fighters. I appreciate all the guys who are like respectful to the fighters. And
I try real hard not to, but sometimes I have to.
Yeah. No, Tyler's the GOAT.
Oh yeah, he's awesome. I think Izzy should be moved to boxing. There's nothing left for him in the UFC. I mean, I think he's still top 5. He just got caught. He's getting caught more often than we've seen. So, yeah. I'm right with you, Saba. I don't know. When 2 people agree, you lock, then 3 will make a parlay. That's my strategy. Park for parlay. There we go. I love it. Joke aside, although I am not a big fan of him, I still feel like he will KO DDP. He could. We got Tweaky in here. What's up, man? Sergey Decision. Sergey? Who's that?
He's talking about Pavlovich. You hit that at like plus 1100.
That's awesome. Yeah. If you hit it, that's awesome.
Or maybe he's just a week behind.
Sergey Decision, Oliveira Decision. Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Oh,
it's up the Izzy part. Yeah. Dang.
Son of a gun. Good
It was
picks
looking.
there.
It was looking good. That was looking good. I'll tell you that.
We bet Oliveira plus 164. I thought he might get robbed though.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I thought he definitely won rounds 2 and 3, but yeah, there was a possibility where he kind of maybe could have. I didn't think Saeed would gas out that bad. Ooh. That was pretty rough. I was like, okay, now I know. All right, the next fight here we got, it's gonna be Quinlan Skullkill versus Anshul Jubilee. And I will start this one. I'm going with Quillen. No surprise there. He is making his UFC debut though, but he's pretty well rounded. He's got good striking. I like his kicks, pretty good wrestling and takedowns too. Sometimes he can be a little aggressive going for the finish, like the submission or anything like that. Maybe gets reversed, something along those lines. But he's pretty durable, good cardio. Pretty much what you want to see in a fighter. I mean, I wouldn't say he does anything amazing, but he does everything pretty good. Jubilee, though, he's also well-rounded too. He does have pretty good striking and grappling. Obviously, recency bias in his last fight against who was it? Mike Breeden? Was that his last fight? Yeah. He kind of looked like he got a little scared, a little intimidated. Everyone's gonna trash on him too, but he clearly doesn't like to be, pushed on his back foot, and I think Quinlan can do that. So, or Quillen, and so give me Quillen to win. I want to say Quinlan. I don't know why, but Quillen, give me him to win. I can see, like I said, I could see a late finish decision too, but I'm going to go with decision too. I think, if he does get him out of there, it's going to be in the third round. We did see that in the Breeden fight, he did slow down a little bit, Jubilee, but we'll see what happens. What do you think?
I think it's a super wide line. I don't think Quillen is great. He's got, I think he probably gets it done, but I don't think he's like the best fighter on this card. I don't think he should be like, 6-1 favorite. He's got nice diverse kicks, but not real fast or powerful. He throws like a million teeps. He's good at using his length and his range. And he is indeed, going to have quite the reach edge here, 6 inches. Mostly a grappler with really nice back takes, well-timed takedowns, but I've seen him lose back control like so many times. He's really hittable, but very durable to his credit. Gage Young was blasting the hell out of him, but he's a really good submission guy, usually taking the back and getting the RNC. Jubilee, well-rounded, good cardio. I'd say decent cardio because you're right. He did slow down against Breeden there. Nice boxing, good jab, good combos, but just very hittable. And I think Quillen is going to be technical enough and be, pawing the jab out there to find the range and then blasting him with the straight right behind it. I think Quillen's kind of got the edge everywhere. Jubilee only has 18% takedown accuracy. He was able to get Jekka Sergi down a ton, and that's why we've been fading Jekka ever since and cashed a huge Weston Wilson bet on against Jekka. But, I don't think Jubilee's super great anywhere. Breeden did miss weight bad in that fight, so it's something to consider. But, I'm on Quillen, but not overly confident. There's other guys I'm more confident on in terms of parlay legs. I don't have anything on Quillen yet.
Yeah,
probably won't.
Yeah, the minus 600 right now is a little outrageous. If you got him like, I don't know, minus 300 or whatever before it started going up crazy, I think that's okay. But yeah, it's just unknowns because he's a UFC debutant. You don't know what's going to happen. He's fighting in his home country, and he's going to want to get a finish for everybody and all that stuff. So we don't know. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of UFC debuts here. So
I'd reiterate the Quillen durability. That's really one of the things that sticks out to me here. Jubilee's been KO'd in his only loss. Quillen's been subbed in his only loss. But I don't think Jubilee has any chance to sub this guy. And so, the longer it goes, Quillen also has really good cardio. Looked great in like that. Contender series fight against Gage Young was a grueling, really entertaining fight. And he looked damn good for all 15 minutes. So yeah, Quillen's a pick. I might be talking myself into putting him in a little something here.
I mean, if you need a little extra juice, why not? I think it's pretty safe.
You know, the thing about these guys that are early in the card is I'm not the hedging type, but I always like try to think of, some people hedge. Like if you just lose so much money by cashing out or hedging. Like if you're not confident to let something ride, just leave the leg off. You make more money just leaving the leg off.
True.
But at least like, if Quillen was higher up in the card later in the night, then you'd have a hedge opportunity. But yeah, early in the night, it's an additional risk because you can't, you couldn't even hedge if you wanted to.
True. Jubilee was busy making podcasts with Marab. He's not serious for fights. Okay. I didn't even know he did podcasts. So
I'll mention, I think that's good enough on this one.
Okay.
lots of unknowns, but yeah, Quillen I think is decent.
Yep. I mean, I personally think he's okay. I mean, minus 600 now, obviously it doesn't look that great. But if you just need a little extra juice and you like parlays, I think he's good. But I personally wouldn't parlay him at minus 600 though. That's just me. I try to, there's a limit where my parlays are. And like, if you hit over that over minus, like, I'll even say like minus 400. If you're over minus 400, I have a really tough time parlaying anybody, even if I know they're going to win 9 out of 10 times. Like,
it's interesting. He's got the Max Holloway picture, which I love. I always try to do the Max Holloway check. I'm like, like minus 500 is reserved for Max Holloway against a guy that we know is going to strike with him.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's where minus 500 is worthy. Or like the Valentina Shevchenko kind of benchmark of like Valentina fighting someone that can't wrestle.
Yeah.
Or
like we can even say like Marab fighting someone that doesn't have good takedown defense. Like perfect. Parlay him all day.
that fits the mold. But I think I'll end up having Quillen in something like super risky, like my 11 leg plus 2,000, that type of like really risky thing. Nothing super meaningful.
Yeah, because that one's going to be like one of your safer legs. And you're cool with it. It's like, all right, 1 down, 10 to go. All right, next one we got here is going to be Kevin Josette versus Jonathan McAuliffe. Who do you like here?
I think Josette, I've never been high on him. I was real heavy on Brian Battle against him. I think he's just so clunky and unorthodox, very awkward, very stiff footwork, zero head movement, real hittable. Seen him cage controlled. It's funny, Tapology had him as the number 93 greatest MMA striker of all time coming into the Brian Battle fight. He was ahead of like Cheeto, Figgy, Sean Strickland. Clowns. Absolute clowns over there making those rankings.
Wow.
Last time out, I was super happy and cashed pretty big when Brian Battle smoked him.
Yep.
He beat a very slow, past his prime Keenan Song. He got the round 1 rear naked choke over maybe the worst grappler in this division's history, Kiefer Crosby.
Yeah.
I'm not high on Josette, but McAuliffe, I don't think is real great either. He's a southpaw striker, very hittable, not good on the feet. I've seen him fall down countless times trying to throw kicks. He's mostly a wrestler with good, jiu-jitsu, but I've also seen him take like terrible shots where he just lands on his knees. He like airballs a takedown. He's like reaching out, grasping for the legs, and the guy's already 5 feet away. He's on his knees. And, if Josette had like a front choke game, McAuliffe is live to get front choked one of these times. In the Contender Series fight against Muhammad Adu was blasting him. And there was some good scrambles there. McAuliffe ends up putting him to sleep with that triangle. It was a nice grappling display. But a couple fights ago against Alden Bates, he got dropped in round 1, was getting dropped over and over again. Round 4, his mouthpiece goes flying. Josette doesn't have crazy power, but he's got a good jab. He keeps it very meat and potatoes, which in MMA is usually good. It benefits you to just like keep it basic. And so I'm on Josette, but I'm just not high on either of these guys. I had trouble with this one.
Yeah.
Josette's got decent takedown defense, but I think he kind of relies on like judo throws and like whizzers. And, I think there's a chance that McAuliffe could get him down and get his back. So I think this is a tough one that I intend to not touch at all.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on Josette as well. And everything you said, like I agree with. Like he is very clunky, kind of slow, doesn't really move his head, but he's very durable. He does push forward. He's got okay wrestling. I don't think he's going to use it in this fight, though. I do think his takedown defense is pretty good. I don't think it's amazing or elite. I think it's good enough in this fight because, like you said, McAuliffe is mainly a wrestler grappler, and his striking is not that great. I think Josette should be able to, jab him up, get some leg kicks going. And also, too, like, just McAuliffe is making his UFC debut, and yeah, he looked good in the Dana White Contender Series when he got that takedown and got the triangle. But I don't think it's going to be that easy. Actually, I mean, like you said, I'm not very high on both guys, but I do think Josette at this point in their careers is the better fighter. I think he'll be able to keep it on the feet, and if it's going to be on the feet, I mean, you got to give me Josette like all day. Like McAuliffe's not going to win a striking fight at all. He needs to get this fight to the mat, take the back, whatever he needs to do to get a submission. Otherwise, I think he's going to either lose it by KO, maybe gas out in later rounds trying to get a submission, or lose a decision. So give me Josette to win. I'm going to say by decision, though. But again, I wouldn't be shocked if McAuliffe tries to go a little too crazy, trying to get those takedowns, doesn't really get them, waste kind of his energy, and kind of just, I don't want to say give up, but maybe the ref stops it, if you want to say, like, okay, this guy's not doing anything, one of those things. So
I could see that. I could see like a round 3 KO for Josette. He's not like a starching power puncher.
Yeah, it wouldn't be early. It would be if McAuliffe definitely like just wastes too much energy in the beginning trying to get the fight to the mat. One of those kind of things.
Yeah, he's kind of that attritional KO guy if he ever gets one.
Or death by 1,000 cuts or something like that.
Yeah, I think these are two guys that, like, if like, just some of the ugliest striking you're ever going to see in this one. And a lot of people like have a really high opinion of Josette. And
no, I mean, I think he's, I want to say average. He's average at best, but I don't think like McAuliffe's all that good. Like, I think he's worse. He's like below average. Like he's a good grappler, but he has to get the fight to the mat. That's the problem. And I don't know. The one thing that like Josette's kind of good at is he's pretty strong, and he stays on his feet. Like that's what he does. So he's nothing to like rush to the window and be like, yeah, let's go. But I think he gets it done.
Both of these guys are just two of the most hittable guys I can think of off the top of my head. Like,
true.
Head straight up in the air.
Well, there's one more coming up on this card that's very hittable. Very, but we'll get there. Sabazan Josette. Alex says me too. Josette should win. I don't think it's going the distance. Yeah, it could not. Josette KO 2-3. I like that. I think that's a good play. Or round 3 decision. I think that's a good play too. We got Bunny Hunter here. What's up, man? Don't really like anything this week. Just rooting against Drickus to say. There you go. Appreciate you coming out as always, man. We got MMA Jesus Devin here. What's up, Dev? Appreciate you hanging out with us. What's good? I got the plus 220 dog. Kevin is mid at best. You're right. I don't think McAuliffe's all that good, though. But, hey, at least you got dog money. That's all that matters. If you're going to bet something like that. And Bunny Hunter, we appreciate the $5 donation. Let's fucking go. Sean Strickland, America. That's Eagles. I love it.
Rock, flag, and eagle.
Can't beat it. Can't beat it. Josette to win against Battle is a tough battle. Please understand. Yes, it is. I think Battle is pretty good. Oh, he didn't look that great against, who'd he fight last?
Rude Boy. Yeah, I thought Rude Boy probably deserved that win.
Yeah, it was very close. I don't want to say robbery, but Rude Boy had a very good case to make to win that fight. I was sweating. I had a battle bet. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Next fight, though, is going to be Cody Steele versus Rong Zhu. And I'll go ahead and start this one. So Cody Steele's making his UFC debut. He's a very good wrestler, grappler guy. His striking is okay. It's kind of not impressing. It's kind of progressing a little bit. You saw the liver KO in his last fight. We got the liver shot, but he's very tough. He's very durable. He's got the cardio to back up the wrestling, so that's always good for a wrestler. But you also have Rong Zhu. We've seen him before, super young when he was in the UFC the first time, but then he went away and came back. But he's still 24. He's still young. But he's more so a striker. He's got good power. He does like to push forward. He is hittable a little bit. He can wrestle and grapple, but he's probably not going to for this fight. He probably wants to keep it on the feet. But yeah, I mean, I'm going with Steele. I kind of like what I see with him if he does the wrestling. I hope he doesn't stand too much with Rongzhu, at least early on. He should get the takedowns, maybe wear out Rongzhu a little bit, and then maybe if he wants to strike, he can. But I think that's what's going to happen. I think he's going to be able to get those takedowns. And I don't see a finish, though. If there is a finish, it might be on the Rongzhu side early. But I do like Cody Steele to win. I'm not going to bet this fight, though, unfortunately, even though I am kind of semi-medium confident with Cody Steele. But it's just the UFC debut guy. It's like, I don't know. And Rongzhu has fought. Even though he is young, he has a lot more experience. And that does worry me a touch. So give me Cody Steele to win by decision. What do you think?
I'm on Steele as well. You know, competitive grappler, strong takedowns, he'll slam dudes. He doesn't have great top control and often lets guys up until like the second half of the fight. He's just really wears guys down, both with his grappling and with his just like forward pressure. He's really just suffocating on the feet. He kind of falls in love with like power hooks. If he lands one, he's going to throw 10 more. He's really a headhunter, doesn't really mix it up, but really good cardio. I think Cody Steele is like a forever round 2, round 3 KO bet.
Yep.
Cashed big on him against Chasen Blair with a round 2 KO. And so I think he's got a really tough style to deal with. Rongzhu does have like 85% takedown defense, but it's misleading. You know, Shin Haraguchi went 4 for 25 on him. And so Rongzhu is going to have a really good takedown defense for a really long time. And he's got 62% takedown offense, but again, it's inflated because he, you know, fought Brandon Jenkins and he couldn't fight off any takedowns at all. We've seen Rongzhu have weight cutting issues against Ignacio Bahamondes. He got blasted with an elbow on the feet by grappler Chris Padilla last fight. You know, if you remember,
that was a crazy elbow.
Oh my! That
thing swole like in wild. 10 seconds.
Wow! He thought he got poked in the eye. Like the elbow hit him just with such the sharp point of the elbow that he kept yelling at Chris like to not eye poke. He's like, dude. He's been training at City Kickboxing. He was fighting at American Top Team for a couple fights. You know, so he's been training with good guys, but I think Cody's just got him everywhere. Rong doesn't really have like the power or footwork or anything to outpower him on the feet or dance around him. I think Cody's going to be able to get inside, get in the pocket, get him backed up against the cage and land big shots and land takedowns. And I'm probably going to get to a Steele round 3 KO again.
Okay. I like that. Let's see. Saba likes Steele as well. There will be blood. Steele sub. I mean, it could happen. I'm trying to think of.
He's got 2 subs. Rongzhu's been subbed 4 times.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. See how many times he got subbed, and though those grapplers aren't that great. Like he got subbed 4 times against probably 4 not so great grapplers.
That's a good point.
Well, one wasn't the club and sub with Bahamondes though. I think that was a club and sub.
Yeah,
it wasn't like
joke.
Yeah, that was a club and sub. So I'll give him that one. But the other ones aren't that great to lose to. So it could happen. It would have to be one of those like we said, like round 2, round 3, getting those takedowns. But Rongzhu, his cardio is pretty good. I don't think he quits, I mean, even with that eye elbow in the eye, like he still wanted to fight. He just couldn't fight. There's just no way. That was like one of the doctor stoppages. I was like, okay, you have to stop this fight.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
Yeah, I wasn't looking at Topology. I'm just like reading my write-up, but it looks like a lot of those sub losses were, 2018 and before.
Okay. So he was probably like 17, 18. He's 24 years old. It's crazy. Yeah. He's got like over 30 MMA fights already. Some against pretty questionable competition, but they're still fights.
I'm sure Liam, I know we both love Liam. He would talk about like the younger guy with more professional experience is always something to be wary of. It's always a not a bad underdog to have, but I just visualizing this fight, I can't see where Rongzhu wins.
Yeah. Unless it's just on the feet only, maybe he wins a decision because I don't think he's going to be able to. I mean, there's a chance, obviously, but if I had to choose, I think this fight goes to decision more times than not.
I think so. He might be more technical, Steele does get kind of looping, kind of telegraphs his low kicks.
Yeah.
But just that pressure is just so much to deal with.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I hope he tries to go for some takedowns early in this fight. Anyways, get this fight to the mat, wear him down a little bit, and then if he wants to use his striking, I think that's where he can level the playing field. But early on, maybe Rongzhu looks good, so maybe this could be like a good live betting spot if you think Rongzhu wins round 1, because I think Steele will turn up the pressure and definitely go to his wrestling in rounds 2 and 3 if he loses round 1 for sure.
That's a good one.
But yeah, let's go to the next fight. Let's see what that one is. They moved around some of these fights a little bit, I think. Alexander Topuria versus Colby the Thicknessy. Who do you like here?
I'm pretty confident in Topuria. A lot of people are like, make it all about the narrative, and they're like, oh, well, Alexander's line's blown out because he's Topuria's brother. And people are like, oh, there's only one good fighter in the family always,
I mean, I'm trying to think. Right? I mean, maybe the Bond Fim, they're kind of the same, if you want to say, but
yeah, the Diaz bros are pretty good, but there are a lot of examples of like the brother just being pretty awful. But just on the tape, Topuria is so strong and vicious. Like these guys both have good grappling, and but I just think Thickness is like so scrawny, which is so funny. And Topuria is just ridiculously powerful. His only loss was like in 2015 against a really big dude, Ivo Ivanov, who ended up, retiring at 4-0. Like Ivo Ivanov was pretty decent. And Topuria had good moments, but he just gasped. But Topuria was so young then. Like the Topuria family's crazy rich. So like this guy doesn't need to fight. He's only fought 3 times in the last 9 years. And you could tell he's been in the gym that entire time. He's just really powerful with his takedowns, vicious with his ground and pound. I think he's just going to be far stronger here. I don't see how Thickness defends takedowns or reverses him or taps him off his back. I've only got one play so far this week, and it's a parlay, and Topuria's in it.
Nice. Yeah, I'm on Topuria as well. Like I would give him medium confidence because both these guys are making their UFC debut. I do think Topuria is a little bit better on the feet. Thicknessy does have good grappling. He is more so the grappler as well. Uses his striking to set up takedowns, but Topuria has very good wrestling. I mean, his brother has good wrestling. He has good wrestling. I think he can defend those takedowns if Thicknessy tries to go for those. And on the feet, I just think he's more powerful. He can get a knockout on the feet. I think he can go for some wrestling as well if he wants to. It's just the unknowns here that worry me a little bit. Just both these guys are making their UFC debuts. Thicknessy is on short notice, about a week, so that's a little bit of a red flag there on his part. But I mean, this guy fights a lot. I mean, I think, let's see, Topuria hasn't fought in about a year and a half, his last fight. And I think 1, 2, 3, like at least 4 fights. Like Colby's fought 4 fights between then. And he fights like every 3 to 4 months, it seems like. So he's definitely active. He's young. He's 25 years old. So, but still going to go with Topuria. I just think he's just more dangerous for sure. And I think he can keep it on the feet. And I think that's where he excels and wins this fight.
I kind of think Topuria probably takes him down like in the first 30 seconds. Just how I imagine it. It's kind of cool that Volk and Ilya, I think, are going to be in both their corners this week. Thickness is decently technical on the feet, lots of feints, decent kicks, but he's just not overly fast or powerful. He's got good footwork at range. He's always moving around, lots of like lateral movement. But once the guy's in the pocket with him, he's kind of like a baby giraffe. He's kind of like Gumby. He's just like, he's a little too tall, and like he has trouble getting out of the pocket really quickly. And so, yeah, I agree with you that Topuria could have some really good moments on the feet, but I think Topuria and Topuria likes to strike. He's got good spinning low kicks, but I think Topuria is going to take him down like butter.
There you go. We got Any Action Effie in here. What's up, Effie? Later to the party. What's up, boys? Appreciate you coming out. Casey O'Neill's little sister sucks too. There you go. I'm the lowest child in the family. They hate me. I'm a loser. It all makes sense now. No joke. Jeez. Oh,
I doubt
they
it.
don't hate you.
No, they're typically the baby. My little brother is like the favorite. He's the baby.
Always a favorite. Thickness, thickness. Yeah, I just call him the thickness. That should be his nickname, personally.
I've had people asking about like the steel Wang thickness parlay. I think it's a must play.
It is. Y'all didn't believe me when I said Zion would kill Davis's smile. Colby has been training with Volk and is capable of an upset here. I mean, it can. Mike Davis looked like crap. As soon as he pulled guard 20 seconds in that fight, I'm like, my bet's done. It's over.
I almost picked CM because he showed really good get-ups against Frivola, but Claudio Puelles taking him down like butter just stuck in my head so much. I thought Mike Davis would do better.
Yep.
I didn't play Davis. I didn't parlay him or anything, but I wish I picked, the dog.
Yeah. I mean, if I knew Mike Davis would do that, I wouldn't have bet him. But I don't know. You never know until you see the fight and you're like, fuck. That's exactly what I thought. I'm like, they ain't gonna win. I already knew it. So I wasn't even mad whatever happened. But there was that one time in round 2 where he got that like calf slicer and I was like, get him. I was like yelling because I'm like, please. And they didn't. I was like, dang. But I'm there whether in the hospital and they need family members to love. Sorry, got side. Oh, you're good. How is it pronounced, Saba? I say the thickness or thicknessy, but
I think it's
it is
thickness.
Thickness?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Because even on his fights, they pronounce it differently. Normally, that's how I know how to pronounce their names is just from tape. But
yeah, that's what I do too. But then all of that knowledge kind of like goes out in my head, and like after I write down what I need to know, so anything else that I don't write down, I don't remember. And then I go to do my video, and I'm like, I don't know how to say this name. I forgot.
This never occurred to me before, but like, a little phonetic.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good idea. I probably should do that. If I'm like, I have no idea. Let me just phonetically put this right here next to my notes. Yeah, I never thought of that either until you said that. That's a good idea. Colby's a student of Craig Jones. Excited to see these scrambles. Okay, that would be fun. Let's see. And we got Mike in the house with a $19.99 donation. We appreciate you, Mike. Let's go. Jake Matthews, Quillen, Slava Claus, and over 3.5 from Whaley. I can get down with it. I just didn't pick one of those guys, but I can get down with it. I think it would be a close fight. The one I didn't pick, but I like it. You like it?
Jake Matthews, I don't know if we could trust him. I've just had the worst, and I'm not saying I'm not against it. I'm personally terrible at picking him. He's busted.
Oh, I am too.
Parlays. He's busted parlays as an underdog. He's busted parlays as a favorite. He got taken down by Semi the Jedi. Like
that was the one fight I was so confident he was gonna win. I was like, this guy's coming in looking like a beast slayer. And he just keeps getting knocked down. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, and Tom Nolan, it's tough to know what to get out of Tom Nolan too.
Yeah.
Slava gets rocked in every fight, but he might be the most gritty MF out there. Like he gets hurt all the time, but it's so hard to finish him. I just think there's some really tough fights. I'm struggling.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's why we're here. We're here to talk it out, maybe get some more confidence one way or another. Maybe I say something, or maybe you say something. You're like, oh, okay.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly why we're here.
Yep. Speaking of fun fights here, we got Kong Wang versus Bruna Brazil. Who do you like?
I'm a Bruna fan. She's a very marketable fighter, and I think she's underrated in terms of her skill. She's moving up in weight here.
Yep.
But I think if this is going to be a range striking fight, I think she's going to hold her own. She's not going to get starched or anything. And then she might have, obviously, the grappling edge. I think it's a really wide line. I think she should probably beat the girl. I think I would pick Bruna Brazil over Gabriela Fernandez, for God's sake, And
I would too, yeah.
So come on, how is Wang a 5-1, 4-1 favorite or whatever? I lost my ass on Wang. Wang boned me, phrasing, and so maybe I'm just scorn. I'm still scarred from that. But yeah, there's zero chance I'm touching Wang this week, besides my own.
So are you going with Brazil to win?
I'm tempted. I haven't bet her, but I mean, at these odds, I think she could win a quarter of the time. Like, I don't think she's going to get starched. I think it goes over. Could be close. There might be a little moment where she steals around with a nice scramble or something. She doesn't have, the greatest wrestling or whatever, but, we picked her as a big underdog against Molly McCann and she came through. And then we lost our ass on Kong Wang as a favorite. Like, I try not to be like persuaded or like overly, persuaded, by like recent bets, but it's hard not to remember cashing Bruna as a dog and losing my ass on Wang as a favorite here.
Yeah. Yeah. So for my pick, I'm picking Wang, but I am not confident. And it's just because what you said, Brazil looked good against Molly McCann. I think Molly McCann and Kong Wang have the same submission defense or grappling wrestling credentials. Not saying striking, but like they're on the same level. And if Brazil can do that in this fight, I mean, it's going to be sweaty for all the Kong Wang bettors. But like I said, I'm still going to pick Wang. I think Brazil has a very, very good chance to win this fight, though. I like the plus 3.5. I don't know exactly what it is yet on DraftKings. It hasn't come out yet. But it probably will be plus money. I do think she steals around. I don't think there's going to be a finish. The one thing that does scare me a little bit with Bruna is if she is on her back foot, she does not look the greatest. She kind of has like the tall man's defense sometimes where she's backing up and she kind of like moves her head back because she doesn't want to get hit instead of just moving laterally. And that works against her a lot of the times in her other fights that we watched. But I don't know if Wang is going to be able to do that. Like, I don't know. There's just a lot of unknown for Wang and still. And I don't know if I'm like 100% sold. I know she's a good striker. I don't know if she's going to be a good MMA fighter. And I think Brazil is a better MMA fighter overall. And I don't think she should be this wide. So with a pick, like I said, I'm going to pick Wang. I just couldn't fully go, but it's like 53%. Like that's where I'm at. And we'll see. But I might throw like a little bit of money on Brazil, though. Like you have to at these odds. I think she has a very good chance to win this fight.
Yeah, you make a good point that Brazil does struggle when she gets pressured a little bit.
But I don't know if Wang's going to do that. Like, she's not really a bully until, like, she's feeling herself. But even not so. Like, she just kind of, like, stays at the kickboxing range, and she'll, like, kind of do, like, an Izzy in a way, or, like, even, like, an Alex Potan. Like, she doesn't really have the – I mean, she wants to get finishes, but, like, it's not like she's going to start rushing in and keep pushing in and keep pushing in. And maybe last fight, too, when she got knocked down and subbed, she's going to be a little hesitant to do that now. So we don't know. I mean, I'm speculating, obviously, but I mean, that could be in her head, too.
Yeah, I mean, getting head kicked by Gabriela Fernandez is not a good look.
No.
The chat makes a good point. It's kind of like what Cody Saptic would call, the CF dot model, right? Like one of the most profitable angles in a long time was just betting women underdogs. But one of the least profitable angles is betting hotties. So
Yes.
Conflicting trends here, and it's a tough one. And it's just, so if we're conflicting, then you cannot bet a minus 400.
True. Very, very true. Let's see. Next one here is going to be a fun one. We just talked about a little bit. Tom Nolan versus Vyashev, Borishev, or Slava Claus. Yeah, I think this fight's going to be fun. Is there going to be a finish? I think there definitely could be. I can see this fight go to decision as well, though. My pick is going to be Nolan. I just have a weird feeling that Slava Claus's chin is just not going to hold up this time. We've seen it numerous times. He gets rocked like 2 or 3 times in a fight, and he just jumps back up real quick, or he recovers quick, or he's fine on the mat for a bit, and then he'll recover when he's like scrambling, and he gets back up, and everything's fine. But Nolan's going to have a pretty big height and reach advantage here. He is very dangerous. I wouldn't say he's more technical than Slava. There's no way. But if this fight does get dirty and Nolan cracks him, I mean, that's where I think Nolan wins this fight. If he makes this fight dirty, uses maybe an elbow or a flying knee or something like that when he's doing something crazy. I just don't trust Slava. Like every time that I trust Slava to win a fight, he doesn't. He loses impressively. That's how bad it is. Like I just can't pick Slava fights or bet. I'm not betting this fight, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Nolan. It's just more of a gut feeling, but I just think I think Slava's chin is gonna be, it's not gonna recover this time. Let's put it that way. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a really exciting one. I could understand that durability and that grit that I mentioned earlier is only going to hold up for so long. Like, Slava's always getting rocked, but just so hard to finish. This is going to be a banger. I think it's like 12 combined fights they've had in the UFC. Neither one of these guys has ever landed a takedown. Like, we're absolutely going to see a striking war here.
Yeah.
Both just really good strikers. I think you got to give the technical edge to Slava. But it only takes one, and Nolan's got a 7-inch reach advantage, 4-inch height advantage. Like, he's going to look gigantic in there. I imagine after the weigh-ins and stare downs, money might pour in on Nolan. So, like, if you're on Nolan, I would say bet him now, and if you're on Slava, I would say wait. I think my pick is Slava. I just think he's better.
No, I think he's better on paper for sure. It's just the chin that worries me.
Yeah. Nicholas Mata knocked out Nolan, but Mata can knock out anybody. Bogdan just looked really good. So that Tom Nolan win aged well. And it was a really nice moment for him. It was a powerful overhand left after he kind of ducked under Grad's combo. And he dropped Grad earlier in the round with just a straight shot. Like, Nolan's got power. He dropped Bogdan with just like a straight,
and Bogdan's pretty durable.
Yeah. So he's got the hometown edge, right? He came from the Australian regional scene. He's kind of plotting in his footwork, kind of classic Muay Thai. And so I think Slava's going to just look way more nimble in there. He's going to, but he's going to be bouncing around against like this big old dude. And it's a really tough one. The odds are close for a reason. I don't intend to play anything on it.
I'm not touching this fight.
Yeah. Really tough one. I think if you were on Nolan, you might want to go like a late KO. But yeah, I just think there's so many fights this way. So many ways this fight could go. You could see a 30-second finish, a round 3 finish.
Decision maybe.
I would lean decision, but it's like there's so much power in this cage, And I mean, like Nolan's last fight went to decision against Alex Reyes, who's not great, but the last 3 fights before that were all 3 round 1 KOs, 2 wins and a loss. So this might be the most exciting fight of the night. Absolute banger. I would say, for DFS players, you got to have high exposure to one of these guys. Like, I would have one of these guys in every single lineup, damn near, depending on how many you play. If you're playing 100 lines, maybe not. But like, if you're playing 3, I would have these guys. Like, whoever wins this fight is going to be in the optimal lineup because of their kind of pick 'em price tag and high likelihood of a KO and high volume. Even if it goes to decision, the winner's going to score pretty high.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see what everyone else says. We got Mike saying huge Asian favorites: Wang, Nakamura, Fang. Yeah, I mean, there's probably a couple others too. Can't think of off the top of my head. Slava's better in the midst of a gunfight. He can look good in a gunfight, but then he gets dropped. Like, it's weird. Like, he'll be like working the body and like he'll throw off like a 5-punch combo or something, and then opponent will just like crack him, and then he'll just drop, and like he'll lose that round. Like, you're like, crap. Like, he was looking good, and then bam, done.
It's tough to know too much about the Nolan cardio, but Slava slows down a little bit too. That's why I'm thinking a late KO prop for Nolan might be juicy.
Yeah. How can you be in the UFC but can't wrestle? Yeah, I agree. If you're gonna MMA, you better know how to wrestle a little bit. But I know they like to take these kickboxers and try to boost them up a little bit. But man, if I was a good kickboxer, like, all I'd be training for my first like 3 or 4 fights would be like wrestling, takedown defense, wrestling. That's it. And then you could start integrating your striking back and do this and do that. But that's just me. Because everyone's going to do that to you. Like, at least they should. If they don't, then they have a terrible game plan.
Right.
Nolan the dog. There you go. But, yeah, next fight, which is going to be another one. I think this is going to be a very good fight. Jack Jenkins versus Gabriel Santos. Who do you like?
It's a tough one. I think at these odds, I would go Jack. I don't think the line should be this wide. Jack's really technical, powerful, well-rounded, like just strong and explosive, incredible low kicks, as we all know. Pretty good takedown defense and takedown offense. Herbert Burns did get him down twice. The problem with Jenkins is that his wins aren't that impressive. He had a cupcake matchup in Freddie Linares, a way too close fight against low-level Don Shainis. In my opinion, lost to Jamal Emmers.
Yep,
and totally then he beat Herbert, who anybody can beat if they don't get subbed in the first 3 minutes.
Yep.
Interestingly, like before Contender Series, his opponents looked really bad on paper, but they were actually decent. But I think Jack is solid with a good future. But Moscatino is really good too, and he's got a really good chin on him. He took a ton of damage. Gabriel Santos, that is, took a ton of damage against Barboza and didn't get finished. He's just really skilled and well-rounded, super fun, always in exciting fights, comes out guns blazing. He's really hittable, but hard to finish him, as I said. The thing that makes me lean Jenkins at these, especially, like I thought this should be a pick 'em, honestly.
Yeah, I thought it'd be a closer line for sure.
Santos' cardio fades big time. Like we've seen it many times. He looked good against David Onama, and then he gassed bad like 7 minutes in.
Yeah.
He looked good against Lerone Murphy.
I thought he won that fight.
Yeah, so he's got skills. He's got a lot of future. He beat Elvis Brenner back in the day, which was a really good opponent. But in that fight, he gassed as well. Moscatino was piecing him up, and Brenner's good. And then he gassed, and then Brenner started getting takedowns on him. So I think Jack's got the takedown defense to stay up.
He could probably land some takedowns too later in the fight too, when he gets a little Santos gets a little tired.
He might, yeah, but I think typically he kind of just prefers to pepper that low kick. Jack's really durable. He's been subbed twice. He's only been KO'd once, and it was that injury.
Mm-hmm.
It was that Chepe Mariscal, where just
where he tried to put his hand down. And it's like, nope, don't do that.
I'm imagining Jack just trying to use range. He's going to be the shorter man with a little bit shorter reach here, but I imagine he's going to be dancing around, peppering him with low kicks, trying to prolong the fight. Santos is going to be trying to get takedowns because he's going to figure to have the grappling edge. And I kind of think Santos is like round one submission or bust. You might get even better odds on Jack Jenkins after round one. But I think this might be one of my dog picks. I know there's some people that are just really confident in Santos, and he's looked good. I get it. But I think both these guys have looked good. And so I think at these odds, Jenkins might be a dog pick for me.
Yeah. Yeah. My pick is Santos. I'm not super confident. I think it's more so like maybe a medium confident again. I do like his aggressiveness. I think he's going to be the aggressor here. I think he's a little bit more dangerous too, whether it's on the mat, whether it's on the feet too. But what does worry me though is, like you said, Jenkins has very good leg kicks. He spams them. He can cripple you a little bit, take away that power. Jenkins is pretty durable. It just seems like maybe what happens in the first round, that's probably how it's going to go. I think if Santos, he pushes Jenkins back, he gets out of the kicking range. We'll see how that goes. And if he can't, then I think Jenkins is probably going to win this fight. So I actually, like I said, my pick is Santos, but I kind of like the Jack Jenkins plus 3.5 at minus 125. I don't think there's going to be a finish. And if there is, it's going to, like you said, Santos early probably, or maybe Jack Jenkins late. And then, that's only going to be better for your plus 3.5 spread bet. And if this goes to decision, who do you think wins a decision more so than not?
I would tend to think Jenkins,
that's what I was going to say. I would say that the same thing too. And he could definitely win one round. He probably wins the third round, right? Because of cardio?
I definitely think so, yeah. So I honestly was
that's all you need.
Jenkins decision only bet where a finish voids it.
That's a good one too. But if I played anything on this one, that would be it. It would go against my pick completely. But I just think Jenkins is durable enough. I think he can win one round, and I think he wins round 3 if it gets there, like probably 8 out of 10 times. So I think that's worth a bet, especially if at minus 125.
Yeah, this might be the moves. Live bet on Jenkins.
Yep.
Decision only. I'm thinking it's going to be a stay away, but I hate because I got to pick some underdogs on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Then you feel like an idiot if you have enough confidence to pick them. Well, you should at least bet their money line. They're the dog.
I do the opposite. I bet against my favorite picks because I'm not that it works out more times than not.
The old emotional hedge, you're either happy you're right or happy to cash. I like that. But
there you go.
I also try so I was just so confident in MVP, I could visualize that fight really well, and it went exactly like I expected and a lot of people expected. And so I try to kind of put filters on that, kind of like that lens, like I talked about, how do you check a minus 500 price tag for a parlay leg? You try to put the Max Holloway lens on it. I try to think about the most confident dog picks where I hammer them pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And Jenkins doesn't quite hit that for me because Santos is solid, right? It's just, I think it's a stay away for me.
Okay. Yeah, I did that for MVP. I picked Shara because I thought, it was going to be a closer fight, and then it was going to be a little a robbery maybe. But I did think this fight would have been a lot closer than it happened. But I picked, but I bet MVP plus 3.5 spread. Nice. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I kind of do the opposite sometimes. I'm not sure I'm picking this guy, but I'm going to do the spread on the other guy. And usually, like I said, it works out kind of more times than not. Let's put it that way. Sabazon Santos 20 is I bet Santos and I want to be confident. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to be super confident. I mean, I wouldn't say low confident, like 50-50, but yeah, I don't know about high confidence though. Jenkins isn't a bum. And we've seen Santos be a little too aggressive sometimes, and he gets rocked. So not to say Jenkins can do that, but I don't know. It's tough.
Santos looks like minus 200 on BetMGM still, So I mean, if you want to bet him, I would say that's the place to do it.
Yeah, I'm seeing Santos is minus 230 on DraftKings. So,
the worst thing about this fight is whoever wins is going to look minus 1,000. I think, right?
Probably.
And that's one of these guys could dominate, and then everyone gets to be look how right if Santos wins, he might just look incredible. I think both these guys have tremendous potential.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an exciting one. Sometimes that's, the best thing is don't ruin a fun fight by putting a bet on it, this might be one to enjoy, the fireball and popcorn, as Clint would say.
Yep, that's very true. All right, so we're going into the main card. If you haven't yet and you're still with us, please hit the like button for us. And Jake Matthews versus Francisco Prado. Did you go first or did I? This is the part of the show that I don't remember who I said who went first.
I'm really struggling on this one, so I'd love you to go first.
Okay, yeah. This is a fight I thought I'd be a little bit more confident in, but I'm really kind of not. Jake Matthews, he's a well-rounded guy. He does have pretty good wrestling that he really kind of doesn't use all that much, except against Darian Flowers, who was severely undersized in that short notice fight, but he looked good doing it, I guess. Game plans are always weird. He does have pretty good boxing. He's pretty durable. We've seen him get dropped 3 times against Semi and, got back up every time, but striking defense is a little lackluster, but I do like the wrestling. He can be out-wrestled too, but luckily in this fight, I don't think he's going to be out-wrestled. Prado, though, we know Prado. He is moving up to welterweight here. That's a little bit of a concern, but he is a bigger guy, but he's not very long and lengthy kind of guy. He's like a short Michael Chandler guy, and just with explosive power. If he lands one punch, he can drop Matthews easily. He does have pretty decent submission defense and takedown defense too. Very durable. He can be hittable too, but he takes it. He just keeps pushing forward. The Zell Huber fight was crazy that he took all that damage and somehow went to decision. But this guy's durable as hell. So This is what I mean. I picked Matthews. I'll say it just because of the wrestling. I think he can potentially get this fight to the mat. But if this fight stays on the feet for a long period of time, like I have more worry that Matthews is going to get knocked out than Prado. And I think Matthews' best path to victory is to try to go for takedowns, at least push him up against the cage. Don't go into crazy brawls with Prado because you're probably going to lose and you're going to get dropped. And Prado has the power to knock out a welterweight, especially. Like he can crush lightweights. He can definitely knock out welterweights. So not super confident, not betting this fight whatsoever, but give me Jake Matthews to win. I don't know how he does it, but I'm going to pick him. I got to go with my gut, but my brain is like Prado has a chance to knock this guy out. What do you think?
I really think this is a tough one. As I mentioned earlier, Jake Matthews is really up and down. Jake Matthews is good everywhere. Like he's sound defensively, good striking defense, solid boxing. He mixes up the body well, but he hasn't really beat anyone good. I'd say his last fight against Phil Rowe is his best win. Darius Flowers, I think, is pretty low level, and Matthews had trouble getting him down. Matthews accepts bottom position too much. It's tough. He got taken down by Semi the Jedi, who, I'm sorry to see that Semi just got released. And, we all know that Semi has mad power, but can't wrestle. He
has good knockdown power, but not knockout power.
It's so weird how that is, huh? Like,
isn't it? It's weird.
Yeah. And it's not like he's just landing on the temple and like messing up guys' equilibriums. It's like, it's just so thudding. He just knocks.
What he does though, sometimes is he'll knock the guy down, he'll fall down, and then he'll just go down with them and then just like lay and pray. You're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like that's Semi, but he doesn't really have the greatest fight IQ either.
Yeah. But I mean, so like if we think about why was Jake Matthews such a big favorite in that Semi fight, it's because he knocked out Andre Fialho, who's got knocked out like countless times in the last handful of years. He's got knocked out like 5 straight times, if I recall. And then when he left the UFC, he got knocked out again. So now you look back and you're like, oh shit, like Fialho has no durability anymore. So he beats Fialho. He's a huge favorite against Semi, shits the bed. Then he beats Darius Flowers, who, with all due respect, could never get a UFC win in a million years. Lost to Michael Morales, no shame there, but Morales just absolutely pieced him up, just his jab was insane. His low kicks were insane. Everything Morales was throwing was landing. And then he wins a decision over Phil Rowe. And I think Phil Rowe's pretty good, but, just pretty good. So it's like, how good is Matthews really? Prado's decent. His first loss was on short notice. And then his last loss against Zellhuber's pretty good. Prado's durable. He took huge knees from Zellhuber, like one kind of at range, like mid combo, and then one plum knee. Prado's got really good durability. I'm thinking I'll probably parlay some overs here, fight to start round 1 and like a super safe parlay, and then fight to start round 1.
I know what you meant. I was going to say like, I know you meant.
Yeah. And then, fight to start round 3, fight to go the distance. I kind of like ladder those type of legs. And then by the time you get to the third tier, it's, plus 2,000. And, I think this is that type of fight for me where I'm just praying for like nothing heavy to land. I think it's a close fight. Prado's actually got 4-inch reach edge here, and so, but they're both very, yeah.
Prado does?
They're both skilled. Yeah, I believe so. That's what my notes say, at least.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at, let me look on here. I thought he was.
I often do my write-ups like 1 in the morning. So if there's a chance I could have made a mistake, but pretty sure Prado's got the 4-inch reach edge here. Nope. Jake Matthews has a 4-inch reach edge.
Oh, okay. Well, the reason why I asked, because I remember him against Zellhuber, and I knew his reach was kind of short because Zellhuber is like 77-inch reach at lightweight. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, okay.
I wonder if there's an inconsistency on.
There totally is.
Tapology
like, don't always trust Tapology.
Yeah. But anyway,
Tapology still says that Jairzinho Rosenstruck is 6'2", and I swear he's 5'11". Ain't no way he's 6 foot.
Same thing with like Hamdi. They have him like 6'2", and I'm like, Really? Is he?
No.
I don't know.
I remember the first fight for Kai Bralho, they said he was 5'11", and I'm like, this guy ain't 5'11", he's 6'3", like he's massive. I think they changed that one though, but it was crazy his first fight. I was like, oh, he's way taller than 5'11".
Yeah. You know, one of my problems with Prado is that the wrestling seems to gas him, but I don't anticipate a whole ton of wrestling either.
No, he'll be defending if anything.
Yeah. If you do get Prado down, terrible getting up, like
so he uses a Kimura to get up.
Yeah, exactly.
It
might be not. I just really can't get a great read on either of these guys. Like, you know, you beat Ottman Azaitar, you lose to James Huber. There's like a big canyon between the skill of those guys, right? But
yeah,
I mean, you lose to Jamie Malarkey. Jamie Malarkey was on fire there for a while, and you know, Malarkey, that was the short notice fight for Prado,
he took that short notice too.
A lot of people were
this
like,
dude's 22 years old too. Like
22.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So that's a really good point. I forgot to mention that. He's only 22. I think you can continue to see improvements out of him, where I think Malarkey, Jake Matthews, like he's kind of probably at his peak, you know? So I don't know. It's tough to pick a winner here for me. I think, you know, when you're so torn, if somebody's a significant dog, sometimes I'm inclined to pick the dog.
Yeah.
You know, I think this will be pretty close. If I have to, you know, pick a winner, I'm going to pick Jake Matthews. I think he's just got far better striking defense. Prado is really hittable, but like you said, so young, you know, he's going to keep improving, and he's so damn durable.
Yep. I think he's more dangerous too. That's what worries me too.
Yeah. I think probably goes to decision. This might be like a split decision prop type of fight, but I'm gonna parlay some overs here.
There you go. Prado is 22 against Matthews' experience. Prado not as well rounded, and Matthews by decision. I like that. I mean, that's what I picked too, but it's just really tough because Jake Matthews is Jake Matthews. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, you just can't. I can't get a good read on him, like you said. I can't do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't pick against him.
So, like, if Semi can take him down, who's to say Prado can't take him down? And
true.
When Prado gets on top of you, he keeps you down.
Prado's too durable, that's for sure. But who can drop
the other one? Yeah,
Go Prado. Yeah. Real Fight Picks. What's up, man? I'm here, handsome. Hello to you too, Johnny. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Mom.
Appreciate you coming out as always, my brother. Prado, pound for pound, biggest head in the UFC. Trevor Peak right behind him. What about Drew Dober? Another big head. Prado is like a mini Drew Dober, dude.
I got respect for the big head. You know, I have to wear snapbacks on like one or two buttons. Like if I had a hat on right now, yeah, it would.
I think I have I think I'm at 4. I'm at 4.
We're both tall guys too. I didn't know how tall you were until I saw your vacation pics. You know.
Oh, and I'm like 5'9", dude. I ain't tall at all.
You look tall as hell.
I'm taller than Cody. I always say that. I am taller than him though. Don't let him tell you any different. I am like a half an inch taller, but he'll say no. I'm like, whatever, dude. Jake Matthews going down. Prado gonna whoop him. All right. Risen is not 5'11". He's 5. Oh, Rosen. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Sorry. 5'10". Yeah, but he's not 6 foot or more. No way. He's under 6 foot.
He's 5'10" and a half.
There you go. 5. Prado. Let's go, Prado. Matthews has been in the UFC since he was 19. Yeah, he's been in the UFC forever. He just hasn't really improved a lot. He just he'll look good in one fight. I think he's he went his last 6 fights, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. And he won his last fight. So that does worry me as well. Let me see. Is it? Yeah. Win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. Yeah. Ever since Diego Sanchez back in 2020. Win, loss, win, loss, win, loss.
He's about to take the L. Wow.
Oh boy, here we go.
I was waiting to bring this up though, and this is the perfect fight to bring it up since we both think it's close and go into decision.
Yeah.
The Australian judges might be some of the worst. And I realize they fly the regular judges out there. It's not like 3 Australian people we never heard of. It's often the judges we've always heard of. But I think it's because that Australian crowd is so passionate. You got to remember, Tai Tuivasa, got smoked that last fight.
Yeah,
that just gave him 30-27.
That's wild, dude.
You're gonna see some suspect judging here in favor of the hometown guys.
Yeah, that I remember that now. You sound like, oh my! I was just like, how? What fight were you watching? No, you weren't watching this one.
Like, did they have him confused? Like, they must have him confused.
You do know who was who, right? You know. Oh man, fun times. Rumor has it Strickland got staph. Yeah, that's going around now. The picture on his, I think it's his left arm, like bicep area right here.
It might just be some big dog-sized Australian spider.
It could be, or a big ass ingrown hair or some shit. But it does kind of look like it. I'll be honest. It's not going to sway me though. It's not going to sway me.
It might have just been a mosquito the size of an eagle.
That's true. You don't know what the fuck you're going over there for. They have snakes that can eat you over there. I ain't going to Australia. I hate snakes.
Yeah.
Ain't no way.
You never know. It could have been some eagle-sized insect.
What's up, Paul? Johnny, was Bryce right or was Bryce right? Bryce is a wild man, dude. I love that I will give him this. I love that he can say what he wants to. And he's not afraid. Good for him. But sometimes, man, he needs to just like it's funny to me, I'll be honest, but it's like, dude.
At least when Strickland says
keep
something,
that inside. Keep that inside your heart.
At least when Strickland says crazy things, it's funny. Like,
I was laughing when I heard that from Bryce, but it's a different kind of laugh, I guess, if you want to say.
Yeah, it's like when you stub your toe. Like when you stub your toe and you laugh.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Keep that inside. But you know what? Good for him. He feels safe enough to say it out loud to millions of people, and hey, got to give him credit for that, I guess.
Anything for podcast views.
That's about it. I mean, he's funny to listen to and like see what he says, but like sometimes you gotta jump off the plane. I'm a parlay prop guy. Usually prelims are volatile, but main cards usually go the distance. Yeah, a lot of because they're the better fighters, and you know they're more durable and they have better tools in their toolbox, and they can wrestle, and that kills a lot of time too. So yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I'm a parlay guy too. I parlay like 2-3 legs all the time. But not this card, dude. I have one parlay. That's it. Might have 2. That's about it, though. This card to me is very volatile.
Got our Noche cups.
There we go.
I mix these Modelo Cheladas, but they're way too sweet alone. So like, 2/5 that, and then like 3/5 Mexican beer. The most delicious thing.
Look at you. I like that. I like it. What flavor was that again?
So I like the fresca picante, and then I get either like the watermelon or the strawberry.
Oh, wow. Good, I'd never seen that one before. That's why I asked. I've seen like the normal like micheladas or whatever.
Yeah, these
with the cayenne pepper in it or whatever.
Yeah, like I can't have those with like the clam juice. Like these are very tasty, very sweet, but a little too sweet. So
yeah,
you dumb them down with some Mexican lager.
Yeah, Effie's drinking on Noche Cup right now. That's wild. You guys are like twins now. Look at that.
I brought home all these that I possibly could find.
There was not even a single submission win last card. What? There wasn't, was there? Even Suarez ain't getting this card, I feel. Oh, well, yeah, I don't think so either. I'll be honest. I'm going to say it now. I don't think she gets a submission, but I mean, it's a possibility. She's very good grappler. Very good, especially early. How many finishes do you think this card in Australia? Okay. I'm going to say, let me look down the list. I'll say 5. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm just.
I always go one more than I really think.
Yeah,
So I really think 4, but I'm going to say 5.
Let's hope for 12, but I'm just not prepared to answer that question.
It's not going to be UFC Austin. That I went to that card, not the latest one, but the one before that. Been a while. There had to have been like 10 finishes out of 12 fights. It was insane. Awesome.
It's the best. I think like Tapuria is getting a finish.
Okay.
You know, Cody Steele might get a late finish.
There's a couple of fights we haven't talked about. I think they're going to be finishes.
Yeah, I think 4 or 5 seems like the right number to me. Yeah,
there you go. If Johnny says he has one parlay, he'll have a secret parlay. Oh, I always have secret parlays. I don't tell anybody. That's true. What's up, Dirty Reds? I'm drinking a Jarrito. Is that how you say it? With alcohol in it. There you go. You put some Mexican tequila in there. There you go. Hell yeah. Who's this guest, Johnny, tonight? Sorry, I just got here. Well, it is free UFC Bet Picks. If you don't know him, in the description below is his Instagram. So definitely go there. Check out his Patreon. Check out his YouTube channel as well. He does UFC stuff all the time. So there you go. He's a good guy. That's why I have him on the show. I'm not putting people that I don't like on the show. There's a reason why they're on the show. Because I like them. We have to do this more often, though, because we got to do this.
Glad to be here.
There we go. When Bryce said he is ready to take out a terrorist on any plane ride, he says they work in groups of 4. I didn't hear that part. See, I just laugh. Like, you have to laugh at that stuff. Like, no, everyone's so serious. Why are we just laugh?
That's true. I just, I love science. Like, I own books. Like, anybody who has over 1.5 books in their home gets annoyed by them.
Fair enough. I look at it this way. Like, everyone's not going to agree with everything that everybody thinks or says, but you just gotta whatever. Be like, okay. Just entertain them. But okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
This was from the Sphere, Paul.
Did you go?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you did go. I did see some stuff. I remember that now. That's awesome, dude. How was it, though? Was it cool? Like, or no?
So much cooler than I expected. Like,
oh, was it? Oh, you were shaking your head like, no, it wasn't cool.
No, yeah, I knew it'd be badass, and then we saw some epic fights, like the Odie Osborne fight, one of the best fights you've ever seen. Obviously, like the Rebovich fight, incredible. Cashed on Marab as a dog. It was just that place is so much cooler than I could have imagined.
Wow. Yeah, I definitely want to go there one time. Just even if it's not for like a UFC event, just for something, because it looks freaking awesome.
It really is. Like, you can't imagine. Like, I thought it was going to be like the IMAX times 2. It's like the IMAX times 100.
Wow. That's awesome. What's up, Nate? I think main card all finishes. Really? All finishes?
Let's
look. I mean, there's got to be one. I don't think that's going to finish. At least one.
So he's thinking like Dreykus sub.
Got to be.
Whaley late TKO or Tatiana sub.
Early Tatiana sub.
Teixeira versus Tafa.
That's going to happen.
Yeah.
Jimmy Crute, someone's going to be out in a second. We're just going to say it right now.
Yeah, Jimmy Crute's going to refuse
and
to
then
wrestle.
a Prado KO.
Yeah.
It could happen. I mean, it's not crazy.
Let's hope.
That's awesome. I was at the first Noche, Grasso versus Shev number 2. There you go. And Shevchenko should have won that fight as well. But footy match in the Sphere, that would be crazy. Get some soccer in there. It's not that big, I don't think. But all right, next one we got, it's going to be Jimmy Crute versus Rodolfo Bellato. I'll go ahead and start this. This might be the toughest one for me. I don't trust these guys whatsoever. And this is the guy that I said that has no striking defense is Jimmy Crute. This guy does not move his head at all. He is a literal punching bag. I don't trust him at all. But I don't think Bellato is good at all, especially after round 1. So my pick is Bellato to win in round 1 by KO. But Jimmy Crute, like if he uses his wrestling, he's well-rounded. He's more well-rounded, I think. He's got good wrestling. But man, if he strikes, I worry for him because he's going to get clipped. He's going to get rocked a little bit, a couple times, and then he's going to end up getting knocked out. But if he can extend this fight, drag it into the late second or third, maybe he wins a crazy, weird decision. But I think one of these guys is going to finish. And it's either going to be Bellato gets an early finish or Crute gets a mid to late finish. So going to go with Bellato by round 1 knockout. I don't know where Jimmy Crute's head's at. Also, he did take a little bit of a break. He was losing a lot, and I don't think he was there mentally, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to give him one fight, not pick him, see how he does, and maybe I'll pick him the next fight. But I don't think both these guys are all that great. Maybe, and like I said, maybe Crute's a little bit better on paper with his wrestling, but like striking, like I think it's on par, but I just trust Bellato's chin a little bit more because Crute's striking defense is so bad, dude. I can't pick him because of that. So I do love fight doesn't go the distance, and it's actually a pretty decent price for a parlay piece. So there you go.
My main thing with Crew is, we don't know where his motivation is because he basically retired after the Alonzo fight. We cashed on Alonzo, finished there pretty nicely. I think he makes bad decisions in the cage, right? Like he just refuses to wrestle.
True.
Like
he did wrestle in the first Alonzo fight, and that's when Alonzo grabbed the fence, and that's what made it a draw. He would have lost, but
yeah, no, you're so right. But then he, didn't really wrestle on the next one. His cardio, like I don't know where his motivation is, his decision making, his cardio. He was gassed so fast, in that fight. He refused to wrestle against Anthony Smith, gets his leg chewed off. I think about Jimmy Crew all the time. If I sit on the can for too long, you get up and your leg's asleep. Like Anthony Smith tore up his calf so much that he couldn't even like stick his foot out. His foot was like he was rolling his ankle. It was just so
that was disgusting. But he was still able to get takedowns on Anthony Smith.
He was able to get takedowns even on one leg, and this fucking guy chose not to wrestle. It's really just frustrating that you can't trust him to do the right things.
Yep.
Gets knocked out in 48 seconds by Jamal. Did Jimmy try to wrestle there? No, not even against Jamal Hill. And now, so it's in his backyard. So they, get him to fight. He's going to sell some tickets. He's local. UFC doesn't have to pay to fly him out. I don't even know if the UFC even pays.
Is he here for a paycheck though?
I think know what I mean? So, right?
Maybe he's still under contract. He's like, man, I took some time away, but it's really I got to get some money. They're going to UFC, Australia.
Right. I mean, at his best, this guy submitted Paul Craig.
Yeah.
But you can't trust him. Now, Bellato, on the other hand, smooth striker, good movement on the feet. He'll throw a flying knee. He gets a little overconfident and sloppy on his entries. Once he gets you hurt, he's just going to press the action and, with his head straight up, but he's down to scrap. But I mean, Ihor Porteria was blasting him. I thought he showed pretty good cardio there and good durability and good comeback ability. And, he ends up just forging through the fire, getting Ihor down, and then his ground and pound is just thunderous. So, I hate to talk about how many fights are tough to pick and be so wishy-washy. I'm on Bellato, but if Crew uses a modicum of fight IQ, he might be able to get some takedowns here, and he would have an edge there. So, but with all the concerns around Crew, I think there's no possible way I could pick him. I'm on Bellato.
Yep, I 100% agree. I mean, the only thing I would do is fight doesn't go the distance in this fight. That's it.
I'll never play those or parlay those because they're the most torturous fights to lose. What's
more torturous is when you bend over and you're 2 seconds away.
Well, that's tough. Yeah. Like Mark Smith letting Chris Weidman get blasted for 4 minutes and then stopping it with 10 seconds left in the round because he has no awareness of anything, it wasn't even the worst of the damage Chris Weidman was taking. But in those scenarios, at least you see a finish. True. But for these people that, parlayed Bruno Silva versus Alex Pereira at -700 not to go the distance, and then you watch a bunch of cage control for 15 minutes, you will break a TV. I will never parlay unders.
You will break. Boy, that's why you don't parlay unders only. You only put one under in any parlay that you do. That's it. That's my golden rule of standard. You can bet a million overs, parlay all them, but you only ever do one in every parlay. If you would like two, you better make sure you do two separate parlays. Both of them ain't hitting. You know that.
Yeah, I just like I can't imagine a fight like people were parlaying unders on Sergey Pavlovich. Like never in my life ever.
No, it was that parlay. I think if you did under 2.5, if I remember correctly, it was like minus 650, and I was like, no way.
Zero.
Even if I know it's going to hit, which I really did think it was, but it didn't. I was like, I ain't parlaying a minus 650 for an under. That's just crazy. But minus 250.
My brother cashed like plus 1,100 on the takedown props for Pavlovich, which was very nice.
Who bets that? That's awesome, though.
Psychopaths,
but who bets that? Yeah, psychopaths, indeed. Let's see.
Yeah.
Paul says, Zang gang, and still. Like where your head's at, Paul. All finishes on the main card sounds more insane than anything Bryce Mitchell has ever said. I mean, that's not a bad take. I like it. Why no chat poll, Johnny? You know, I used to do the chat polls and see what everyone thought who would win and then go over it afterwards. But people were like complaining. And I was like, okay, I won't do it anymore. But, you know, maybe I'll do it again.
Complaints are good for the algorithm, you know?
That's very true. They're like on the freaking thing, like, why are you doing this? It's annoying, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, sorry, sheesh. Thought you got to be a little bit more entertained than like listen to us talk. Kurt said he found Jesus. Okay, well, we'll see if it works in the MMA ring. He said he rebuilt himself, whatever that means. Okay. Colostrum, what's up, man? Tatiana's going to submit Whaley. Mark my words. She definitely could. Definitely
could.
I'm on the dirty red side, though. Stop saying. Let's see. Scotty Lawson, my guy Scott. What's up, man? I have arrived. This party can start. It's been started.
Let's go.
We're already pregame. We were pre-gaming, so now the party's starting. There we go. Whaley all day. Greetings, Nate Brown. You look smart there. All right. Next one we got gonna be Taliesin Teixeira versus Justin Tafa. Interested to see who you like here. Who do you like?
You know, I hate to say it's a tough one, but it's really a fun one.
A lot. No, don't feel bad. I feel the same way. And like while I was doing my video, I was like, I said this like 8 times already. Like, this is a tough fight to call. But
I will say that Taliesin's got major cardio concerns. He's a solid striker, good kicks, like a laser of a right hand. He's not just long and technical, but he's got incredible accuracy. He's got decent striking defense, but he has trouble getting out of the pocket like a lot of tall guys do, like we talked about with somebody earlier. I can't recall. Mm-hmm. I'm like, multiple beers deep.
I don't know. I'm thinking of the tall guys.
Yeah. Let's do a poll. Like, am I over or under 5.5? Pacificos. But so I think he's very good, but what a weird card where a debutant is like the 3rd fight on the card, like the Coco main. But I've been saying even before his Contender Series fight, like in my Contender Series write-up, I said he had cardio concerns because he slowed down after 2 minutes in the Matheus Fonseca fight, and he slowed down in the Arthur Lopez fight on Contender Series. But man, he's just that laser of a right hand is the only way I could put it. That Contender Series fight was incredibly exciting. They were swinging right out of the gate. Both of them landing big shots. He's got good durability. But Taliesin's got those amazing knees like a lot of tall guys do. He's dangerous. The difficulty that he has is when guys get inside on him and they just pressure him, they swarm him, and that's what Tafa's going to do. And I think Tafa's got a better finishing potential late in the fight. I think Tafa is a good dog here. He checks, he's got good check hooks. He's decent off the back foot or the front foot. He's very heavy and plodding, but he's like surprisingly nimble and he's surprisingly good moving backwards. Obviously got a ton of power. he showed nice kicks against Felipe and obviously Hunsucker. He finished him with kicks. So I think Tafa's a pretty good dog here. I think the longer the fight goes, Tafa's power stays more, where Taliesin, who relies on his technique and his precision, it starts to go out the window a little bit, where Tafa can just remain heavy, remain walking forward, remain closing the distance. Taliesin does a really unique thing to like, he's often chasing guys down, and then he doesn't just like cut guys off. He completely resets and like circles the cage. He like totally resets. If he finds he's got good fight IQ, he knows that guys want to like walk back, and try to set a trap and land something heavy on him. Taliesin's really good going forward, less good going backwards. And I think Tafa's going to put him in some sticky spots here and land something heavy in round 2.
Right on. Yeah, I'm on the Tafa side. Like, I mean, what does worry me, like you said, is the early round for Teixeira. Like, he's super long. He's going to have a crazy height and reach advantage. He's pretty athletic. He's going to be quicker. But as the fight goes on, I do like Tafa. But Tafa's super durable, dude. Like, he'll take a punch to give a punch. He don't care. He'll just keep pushing forward. He has got very good leg kicks. He can slow down Teixeira as well. And I think he finds the chin eventually. And I do like the second round KO. I think that's a good look. I don't think it happens in the first. It can, but I think Tafa's goal in the first round is to blast leg kicks and just blast him until Teixeira slows down a bit. Take the punches that he gives you, whatever you want to do. But after that second round hits, Teixeira's going to slow down. He's going to push up the pace a little bit, and he's going to get that KO in the second, maybe third. And I'd be shocked if this fight goes to the decision, but I'm going to go with Tafa round 2 KO as well. I think he gets it done.
Tafa's got surprisingly good cardio. He had Carl Williams hurt in round 3 bad, and I like the low kick angle. He does pepper guys with those, and Taliesin is so heavy on the front foot because he loves to strike from range, and he can reach halfway across the cage, but he really is heavy on that front foot and leans forward big time. Like, if you try playing range, it seems so obvious because he's so damn tall and long. Yeah. But surprisingly, fighters are often trying to like be at range with Taliesin. He could just reach you from so far away.
Yep.
But yeah, I love the thought of peppering the low kicks there and just staying in the pocket with him, pressuring him, make that big, tall, Bambi back up.
Yep. Exactly.
Tafa's in his backyard. Taliesin's flying across the world. UFC debut on a pay-per-view, Coco Main. Like, which guy is going to feel more comfortable here? Obviously, Tafa.
For sure. Epi says he likes the over here. That'd be wild. What's that? Let's see. Over plus 140. I can see it sneak. I can see it sneak over.
Half plus 150 was going to be my guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's decent value. What's interesting is like, men's fights often finish in the first half of the round.
Okay.
So I'd be
any round?
Just because they got more power, whereas women's fights are more inclined to finish in the second half of the round because they gas and get submitted. And so, if the fight to start round 2 is like plus 100, obviously it's safer, but it's safer for that reason as well. Like, there's a high likelihood someone gets starched in the opening moments of round 2.
Minus 125. It's not too bad.
No, but I think
just 5 minutes of sweat.
Yeah. And then it's so fun. Like, oh my God, I love betting overs. I swear to God.
I like betting overs too. Most of my over under bets are 90% over, but like I said, there's like maybe one under every other card. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do it. But we'll see what happens. He's got to pick your spots more so with the unders and overs.
Yeah.
See, Mike likes the over 2. All big Teixeira got to do is take Tafa down a time or 2, tire him out. I think I'll tire out Teixeira doing that too. Tafa volume tanks after round 1. He still plots, and I mean, yeah, it does tank a little, but he still has the power, I think.
Yeah, he's never much of a volume guy.
True. All right, co-main event. Here we go. Weili Zhang versus Tatiana Suarez. Is it my turn? I
could go.
Okay, good.
I've been kind of like feeling like Weili's overrated for a while. I cashed on Rose as an underdog twice in a row.
I did too.
Johnny, I think last time we picked fights together, I was heavy on Yan Zhounen, and it almost ended up being like the most impressive underdog hammer in a long time. I think I had like 7 units on her, and like I never put 7 units on anything. I was incredibly heavy on Zhounen. Zhounen almost knocked her out. Zhounen took Weili down to everyone's surprise. The thing about why Weili got it done is just she's so incredible in the scrambles. She's so good at floating on top, and even when someone has good get-ups, like she just floats. That's the best way to put it. Tatiana, we've all been so big on her for a long time. For the last 5 years, everyone thought she's a future champ.
I was going to say like 6 or 7 years.
Yeah. She didn't look too great in her Montana De La Rosa fight, but that was like, her comeback fight after 4 years away.
4 years,
up a weight class. And Montana's decently strong. She's got solid, I want to say 68% takedown defense. I don't have it in my notes here. But Montana's got solid takedown defense. Tatiana just went 2 of 6 there. But so then last time out against Jessica Andrade, a pretty strong girl, Tatiana went 3 for 3. That's, still didn't look amazing. I had Tatiana parlayed up, pretty big there. And I was a little worried on that Montana fight. I cashed her round 2 prop at plus 1,000. She's got 2 round 2 guillotines in a row. She does just do an amazing job. When she gets you down, she goes to side control, and she the only way you can get up is to go to your knees, and she's waiting for it. And she kind of switches between ninja chokes and guillotines and latches on whichever one's gonna stick. I think the ninja choke prop here is worth a touch. Probably on BetMGM, it's probably going to be like plus, 3,000 or so. The challenge is these idiot refs like Said Nurmagomedov. He's landed 3 ninja chokes in the UFC. They called all 3 of them a guillotine. These idiot refs.
Really?
Yeah.
I was going to say, I know the one against Stamen was definitely a ninja choke.
Yeah, on Tapology, it went down as a guillotine, but all 3 of them, it's, guillotines hand to hand underneath.
Yeah.
All 3 of them, he was anchored to his arm. A ninja choke is kind of like a ninja choke is like a guillotine, but where you're latched onto your own bicep instead of your arm. A Darce and an Anaconda are like arm in ninja chokes. And a Darce is when their arm is in your sinking arm, and the Anaconda is when their arm is in on your anchor arm. And so Saeed, all 3 of his last 3 submissions were, I swear to God, ninja chokes. But these these refs. So I'm fearful of betting the ninja choke prop here on Suarez, because we'll get burned and I'll be on customer service with BetMGM for hours, and they won't,
You don't know what the difference is.
Yeah, I'll be sending them YouTube video links and screenshots, and so anyway, I do think Tatiana's dangerous here. It's wild line movement we've seen here. The bookies started it out as a pick'em, and that only lasted a half hour, and obviously everyone hammered Weili. She got to minus 250, and now money's poured in on Tatiana to where she's the favorite. It's tough. If Weili can defend takedowns, she's going to look minus 1,000. Tatiana does not have good striking defense. She's often putting her arms out really ugly, trying to
doesn't really have good striking either.
No, yeah, zero striking, compared to Weili. But she's gonna get a takedown or 2. She's gonna get takedowns, maybe 1 every round. Even when you stuff her, she's just incredible with the chain wrestling. She'll hold onto your foot. You cannot get away from her. She's just so suffocating and smothering. I get the Tatiana backers, but Weili's just so strong. We've all seen her picking up Francis Ngannou. And I think when Weili's fighting a striker like Yan Zhounen or Rose, you can get her down. But I find it hard to believe that someone's going to get her down when Weili doesn't have to worry about the striking at all. Yeah. And then Weili's jiu-jitsu is just so damn good. She's not going to make a bonehead move, go to her knees and get front choked. I think Weili as a dog is the only way to look.
Yep. Yeah, I'm a big Tatiana fan, as many are probably. I've been waiting for her to finally come back and start fighting again after all the injuries and all that stuff. And I just haven't really been too impressed with what I see. Yeah, she's winning, and she's winning by a finish. Cool. But you're beating Montana De La Rosa. Then you're jumping up to Jessica Andrade. Then you're jumping up to Wei Li in a title fight. So you have 2 fights in the last 6 years.
Right.
These are massive jump ups, mind you. And yeah, you got 2 steps. You're good. But this is a massive. I wish she would have fought Verna when that fight should have happened. If she looked good against Verna and then fought Wei Li now, I would pick Tatiana all day. I would. I'd be like, okay, she can pass the test with Verna, and she looked good. She won. I think she can do the same against Wei Li. I don't know if she can do the same. And plus, what really worries me too is if this fight gets into round 3, if it gets into round 4, if it gets into round 5, how is Tatiana going to look? We haven't seen her like after round 3 ever. I don't think she's ever fought a 5-round fight in the UFC anyways. Wei Li only fights 5 rounds, and she goes to 5 rounds most of the time anyways. So she's going to have the striking edge. Obviously, Wei Li will. I mean, I think she'll be safe enough if she does get taken down. She's not going to put herself in harm's way. I don't think she would do that. It's just, for me, Tatiana needs to get a sub in the first 2 rounds. If she doesn't, I don't think she wins this fight. So I'm pretty heavy on Wei Li just surviving, if you want to say just surviving. But I think she'll be okay too. I think she has pretty good takedown defense. And like you said, she was fighting Yan Xiaonan expecting a striking match where she could potentially go to the mat and use her wrestling. And then all of a sudden it's a good game plan. Perfect. But she was able to adapt, and she looked good as the fight went on, looked better. Let's put it that way. And she won that fight. And I think the same can happen. Maybe Wei Li looks a little, maybe she gets taken down in the first round. She loses the first round. But like, I just worry about Tatiana a little bit. Wei Li has so much more experience against so very, very good fighters. And I just think this is just a big ask and a big test for Tatiana that I just don't know I don't think she can pass, unfortunately. I really want her to. I really do, but I don't think it's going to happen. But so give me Wei Li to win. I'm going to say by decision, but wouldn't be shocked if it's a late finish by Wei Li. So
I'll mention I think the cardio piece, people are giving Wei Li a little too much credit, and I get it. It's like we haven't seen Tatiana.
Slows down a little bit, in the later rounds.
We haven't seen Tatiana more than twice in the last 5 years. We haven't seen Tatiana in round 3. We see Wei Li go 5 rounds all the time. But after round 2 against Xiaonan, she was gassed. Round 3 starts, Xiaonan knocks her over with the body kick, right? Wei Li was airballing looping shots in round 3, and Yan was just stinging her with straight shots. The thing about Wei Li, though, is similar to the next fight we're going to talk about. She continues to fight well, even though she's tired.
Yep.
But I think we imagine Wei Li as having like excellent 5-round cardio, and I don't think that's exactly the case.
True. I just worry about Tatiana's cardio, though. I don't think it's going to be good enough. Let's put it that way. I don't think it might not be bad, but I just don't think it's going to be good enough for her style to go 5 rounds because we haven't seen it. But maybe it is.
The thing about it is like people can do their style all day long. Like everyone, it's just like what you grew up doing. Like I could play basketball and jog way long. Like I can't ride a bike uphill. I'll be gassed in 30 seconds, but I can surprisingly jog like all day, because I just played basketball growing up. Like I can box for a really long time without getting tired. I'll be tired in 30 seconds of grappling. Yeah. If Tatiana can implement her game plan, Wei Li's going to gas. And if Wei Li can keep it on the feet, Tatiana's going to gas.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what everyone says. I'm sure everyone is crazy. Ripside, what's up, man? He says exactly what setups will Tatiana do? True. Wei Li has never been submitted. Tatiana ain't doing it. That's what I feel, but it's only me. We got Action Jackson. What's up, man? Much love. Appreciate you hanging out. We just didn't see enough from Tatiana. Agreed. Head kick on the get up market. Okay. Tatiana looked exhausted. Wei Li doing flips. Compare their best wins. Wei Li also beat Andrade and Carla. Then Montana and Grasso. Wei Li would have beat them too. Gasson, Joanna fight was fun. That was a good fight. Pantoja does that too. Looks tired, but it's fine. 100%. That guy is a little demon, and I love it. Second favorite fighter. Love Pantoja.
Love him.
Love him. Best guy to bet on too. You always bet him. How dare you don't bet against him? He's gonna win. I'm more confident, and I initially had a Tatiana bet. Okay. I have Weili getting beat, and I have Jenkins with leg kicks and Matthews and Wang Kong for the easy. There you go. Perfect example. Yep. Yippee. What's up, man? He said Weili has taken a lot of damage recently. Yeah, but she also has way more experience. So, it's tough. I could see from both sides, but I'm sticking with my guns. I'm sticking with my gut. I'm sticking with my brain. It all aligns. Like the stars aligned, and that's what happens. Ripside with the $5 donation. We appreciate you. Collection play. Appreciate that as always, my man. Ryan Matthews.
Pass it around.
Pass it around. Yeah,
Johnny.
Yeah, if you collection play, pass it around, guys.
You guys don't know how much work goes into this, and Johnny's here twice a week. Every week, he gets his picks out earlier than anybody else on Sundays.
Maybe there's a couple other guys that put their stuff out, which is cool. But I try. Like Sunday's my day. I'm like, I can do this on Sunday.
It's a lot of work.
This guy's right. I used to run on an incline and hold it for 30 minutes, but tried to swim and gassed. There you go. Speaking of Bryce, he left his episode on Rumble quietly waiting for the next one. He left his episode up on Rumble. Okay. I thought he ran out of his episode. Chinese Raw Power. Let's go, Zhang. All right. Now we got the main event. Dricus du Plessis versus Sean Strickland. I'll start it off here. So we all remember the last fight. It was very close, very fun. I personally thought Sean Strickland won. No robbery or anything. It was that close. I still think that to this day after rewatching it. But, I mean, that's something with du Plessis, man. He finds ways to win. Like he looks weird doing it. He's so unorthodox with his striking. He worked on that cardio. I know he had that nose procedure, and that helped him out, which showed way better cardio. I don't know if that was a miracle procedure or whatever it was, but he has got way better cardio now. But yeah, he was able to mix in the wrestling, especially later in the fights with Strickland. That's what won him the fight. I mean, if you want to say, but I still think Strickland won. But I'm picking normally, I would probably pick Strickland again because I knew he won and I want him to win. And but I'm picking du Plessis to win. I just think he's gonna find a way to win again. Sean Strickland fights very closely. All of his fights seem to be very close. I know there's a couple that haven't been, but go back and look at some of his records and who he fought. A lot of them are going to split. The judges seem to not know how to score his fights for whatever reason, whether they want him to win. I don't know. You can make your own little tinfoil hat theories on it, but I just think du Plessis is going to land the harder shots, which he probably did in the last fight, which probably won him some of the rounds. He has the wrestling to mix in. That get the takedowns, which might look good for the judges, but Strickland's only going to pop that jab and T kicks up the middle and push forward. So, and also with the staff, I'm not putting this into my predictions or bets. That's always a little bit of a concern too now. So, maybe that slows down Strickland in the later rounds. He's always had good cardio. He's always durable. I see this fight going at least to round 5 or over 4.5, whatever it's set out. So, but give me not Strickland. Give me du Plessis to win. Another very close decision. I think it's going to be 48-47. Maybe not split this time, but it's going to be close. And I do like the Sean Strickland plus 5.5 spread bet. I think it's that close to where I think it hits no matter what. And maybe Strickland does pull it off. Maybe he wins the first, rounds 1, 3, and 4 instead. So we'll see what happens. But I'm going to go with TDP this time. My gut says so. What do you think?
Yeah, I also thought Sean probably won that last fight, if not for the cut. These judges are so goddamn dumb. If they see blood, they pick the guy who's not bloody.
Yep.
I think of so many fights where that's the case. Off the top of my head, I never pronounce his name right, but Sahur City versus Roman Tavares. Like, I
Oh
thought
yeah,
City
Serious
obviously
City.
won. City was like minus 400 in round 3, but he was bloody as hell, and the judges give it to Tavares. I think Sean won that fight, and I think if he wasn't all cut, and you could there's varying opinions whether it happened from a headbutt or this like glancing shot, which didn't even really land. I think the line is too wide. I think I'm forced to pick Strickland as almost a 2-1 dog. The thing about Dracus is he's got sneaky power. His unorthodox style is so tough to deal with. And Izzy and Whitaker talked about it. They're like, oh, he's so slow. He's so goofy. And then boom, they're getting blasted. A lot of people think of that round 4 rear naked choke win over Izzy as a takedown, but no, he actually hurt Izzy on the feet in round 4 with these shots that don't even really seem to land. He lands them at the end of his punch. He's really reaching, there's nothing on him. But somehow he just messes up the equilibrium of these guys. And so he landed a nice little flurry on Izzy, and Izzy was just on wobbly legs. Dracus on the regional scene had incredible wrestling. He was suplexing guys, not just slamming guys. He was pro wrestling guys. And he was a double champ on the regional scene, but we've seen some chin concerns out of him back in the day. He's 8-0 or whatever in the UFC. You can't hate on him. And he's fought a bunch of really good guys. I thought Whitaker would beat him. Izzy was beating him. And then he's just so damn durable and gritty and
Finds
weird.
a way, yep.
And he always looks tired 7 minutes in. He's huffing and puffing. He did in the Izzy fight. Last fight, he looked so tired in round 2, but he sticks with it, and his pressure, his smothering, suffocating style is such a challenge for everybody. But Sean's uniquely equipped to deal with that, and so I don't know how such a close fight. I think the finish over Izzy moved this line a little bit. If these guys just had an immediate rematch, I would assume the line would be minus 130 at most. I mean, Sean is still arguably the champ. So I think the line's a little too wide. The Australian crowd loves Sean. He was out there for the Izzy fight, and Australians really connected with his personality and stuff. I think the crowd is going to be pro Sean. And as I mentioned previously, the crowd in Australia is so passionate and loud that they sway the judges a little bit. So I like both these guys. I like both their personalities, honestly. I like how honest they are. And I like that, Dracus makes all of his opponents cry at the press conference. So the press conference is probably tomorrow, right? The day before weigh-ins, or was it?
Yeah.
Today they have those little interviews, but tomorrow is going to be the real.
Well, it might be tomorrow right now over there. So
it's tomorrow. So if you're in Australia, you already know who wins. Send it a lock.
Future.
Yeah, you guys are in the future. So send the locks, please. But I think I got to pick Sean as, almost a 2-1 dog in what we all think is going to be a really close decision.
Yep. I agree. I don't hate it. Like I said, I'm probably going to bet Sean Strickland plus 5.5 spread.
If you got DraftKings, if you got those, look at you can do the alternate. You could bet Sean plus 9.5 is, minus 400 parlay leg, if I had to guess.
Yeah. I think it's actually a little bit better than that. I think it was minus 165.
Holy, for an alternate, where he just needs to win one round, damn near. You can
basically, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's an absolute lock.
Yeah, plus 9.5 spread for Sean Strickland is minus 165.
Yeah, I'm about to go hammer that. So people are thinking maybe Dracus gets a submission finish here, and I really don't see it. I mean, Dracus was not able to get Izzy down. He got him down twice, technically. He got him down in round 1, and he actually threatened the rear naked choke. He was pounding him out, but Izzy got up. Rounds 2 and 3, Dracus was employing some cage control, but Izzy was defending well. Sean's got far better takedown defense than Izzy.
Yep.
And
he has good. He's got a good get up game, and he doesn't give up his neck or anything crazy. He works to get back up the right way. He does everything fundamentally sound if he is taken down. So I'm not really worried too much. And even in their last fight, Dracus didn't have a ton of control time. He had maybe a couple minutes, but Sean was able to work his way back up, and took him a little bit, but he didn't get grounded and pounded or on his back for 2 minutes or anything. It was literally like he just kept working himself back up. It took him a little bit, but he did it.
Yeah. I think if you want to bet this fight, the angle is you live bet Sean after round one. Like, Dreykus is going to look at his best in round one, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that. I was going to say, like, it's just a weird dynamic with him. You just don't know what you're going to get. Like, you're going to get a gritty guy that's going to look a little funky. And then you got Sean Strickland, who's a gritty guy who looks a little funky, completely different way. It's going to be such a freaking close fight again. I know we always say like rematches don't really go the same way, but I think this one does. Like, I legit think it's going to be super close. It might not go to split, but I think it's going to be like 48-47, like whoever wins.
I see the chat talking about like flying across the world. Like, I honestly don't know what's further away, like Arizona to Australia or like South Africa to Australia. But in my mind, these guys have like an equally long flight.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I'd assume South Africa's a little closer, but it's not like next door. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. I already did bet the fight to start round 3 here in my parlay with Alexander Topuria, and I can't remember the other leg because I was torn between Cody Steele and Park.
I go with Steele, I think.
It was Steele.
Okay. Yes. I think I would have. If I had to choose between those two, I feel more comfortable with Steele, even though I probably shouldn't because he's making his UFC debut, but I think he's got a better matchup. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, so the only bet I have so far is Topuria, Steele, and this fight to start round 3.
There you go.
For 3 units, which is pretty heavy for me.
I like it. DDP for the win. There we go. If Johnny takes DDP, I'm calling ISO. Oh gosh, I better watch out then. All right. I'm reporting he's illegal. He is here illegally from Nigeria running email scams. Yeah, they won it both ways. I hate point fighting, yet love MVP. There you go. Did you see that bald head mustache Strickland all day? We got free Joshua. What's up? Justin Taffa Chin's the hype job. Agreed. We said the same thing. How would Dana White say it's hard for it to someone to lose their belt and get it back? DDP in the other half of the world. I think both guys are in the other half of the world in different locations. It's weird. Here's the thing, guys. Izzy fucking sucks.
Listen, guys. Listen, guys.
Izzy fucking sucks.
That's funny.
Oh, that's a big parlay. But
can I mention anything about parlays in general?
Yes, go ahead.
So when you make a straight bet, the sportsbook expects if you bet $100 straight bet, the sportsbook expects to win $5 on average. When you place a $100 parlay, the sportsbook on average wins an average of $30, a whopping $30.
Wow.
And that's why the sportsbooks boost parlays, incentivize parlays. That's why they glorify parlays on social media, because every night there's a million idiots who play like, first basket scorer parlays, and they post the 1 out of a million that hits.
Yep.
It's because that's how they make their money. I started betting only MMA because you can't trust these other idiots in other sports. I remember like in the bubble, I guess, the Lakers were like minus 300 against the Heat every game. And I would never parlay a minus 300 NBA game. Yeah. But in game 5, they were going to wear their Kobe jerseys. And I was like, okay, they're not losing tonight. They're going to win in their Kobe jerseys. So I parlayed them up at minus 300. They lose. And then they come out in game 6 and smoke them. Like, I just got so tired of betting other sports because, like, you just don't know if they're going to care. And the referees have such a big influence. And the reason I got into betting MMA is because, like, these guys, it's their health on the line. And half of their check is on the line.
Yep.
You can actually trust that they're going to win. So in MMA,
there's still a few fighters that I don't trust because I don't think that they care to win or not.
Well, that's, and they want to be exciting, but like generally speaking, at least that they're making half as much money. It's even less than half. Like if they lose, they don't just lose half their check. They lose future endorsements. Next time they re-sign with the UFC, they sign for less money. Like these guys want to win.
Yeah.
And their health is on the line. Whereas NBA players don't give a fuck. If you're in Atlanta and you're out at the clubs all night, you know, you're shit in the bed the next morning, like the next night, right? So like MMA is the only sport that I would recommend parlays on, but still just a word of caution. Like everyone I know that's always showing me crazy parlays on their sportsbook app, their balance is always 0.
That's true. That's why, like I said, I'm a parlay guy. I'll admit it, but I only do like 2-leggers normally, like fighter parlays. Maybe 3, but I have to be super confident in all 3. Like, yes. Like, there's no, like, well, no, don't throw it in there then. Like, that's it. And usually it's overs. Like, I'll parlay all overs. Those are the ones I'm like, yes, all day.
Dude, that's how I am profitable. I swear to God, that's the only way I'm profitable is by parlaying overs. Like, I had I won week 1 of UFC this year and week 3. Lost my ass on week 2 because I parlayed up Randy Nakamura. And I parlayed him up with a bunch of overs, and they all hit. And Randy Nakamura boned me. Like, yeah, parlaying overs, I highly recommend.
Yep, I agree. All right, well, we got this part of the show that we're going to do our easy money parlay. So what is something that you're like super confident that hits?
I really do think Alexander Topuria is going to smash.
Okay.
I really can't see a world where the Dricus-Sean fight ends in the first 2 rounds. I'm on the fight to start round 3 there.
Well, we kind of talked about just like, why don't we do, and I'm totally fine with doing this.
Last time we
did plus 9.5 spread.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm all about that, especially.
I think if we did Topuria and that's plus money.
I am aligned.
Plus 102. Are you that is there something better that you like than Topuria though?
No, not like he was like minus 450. Now he's like minus 3 and change.
Yeah, 380. I see on DraftKings.
I'm all about. Is there
something that can rival that though? Are you sure?
Not for me. Not Wang. Not like definitely not Salkield. Hyung Sung Park was the one that I was debating with Cody Steele. They're both in the mid 200 ranges. I think Steele and Park both win. Less confident on Jusset. I wouldn't touch that. I wouldn't do the Wang. I'm looking at Topology right now. The vast majority of Topology pickers are on Jenkins. Let me tell you guys this. Anybody who fights out of Australia, London, Canada, Ireland, they're always the favorite on Topology over a Brazilian guy because in Brazil, they've got booties and beaches and sunshine. Like they are too busy. They are too busy to
booties, beaches, and sunshine.
Yeah. So like you'll always be like a little dissuaded, like, oh shit, maybe this guy's live. I'm like, no, he just fights from some cold ass place.
Yeah.
Australia's not cold, I realize.
Nice. All right.
I like the over in the Duplessis. I like the Sean alternate spread there. Not everyone has that where like more people have the fight to start round 3 on Bovada.
Yeah.
Fight completes 2 full rounds.
Well, guess what? We are doing 9.5 because I'm very confident in that. So if you're confident in Topuria, I'm very confident in Strickland 9.5. That's plus 102. I'm going to put that in the chat. That's going to be the easy money parlay that we're going to do this week. If you can't do the spread, look at, like you said, do the over 3.5 in the Strickland fight. Is that what you said?
It was the fight to start round 3 is what I did.
Start round 3. You could do that. Let me see if there's anything else that's closely lined that I would maybe do. I'm
looking at futures right now, Paulie.
Maybe the under in the Crute fight, under 2.5.
I can't endorse it.
That could be a good replacement for the Strickland plus 9.5. I'm pretty confident in that. But that's what we're going with. We are doing this. I'm good with this. We're doing it. So the next one we're going to do here, we'll do like a crazy one. Like what's something that you like that's out of the blue? Like I know we mentioned Tafa round 2, KO. What was What's that one at? Let's see what that is at. Because I like that one. Top of round 2 KO. I think that hits. And we'll do one more. Oh, that's plus 700. Whoa.
I kind of thought it would be a little juicier. He's the underdog.
I thought it would be like plus 400 personally. That's how he usually wins, is by KO. I didn't think it would be like super juice, like 700. Shit.
That's the round 2, right?
Round 2 KO, yeah.
Yeah. What's is Tapuria round 1 KO out yet?
No, not on DraftKings. I mean, I'm sure it's out on like Bet Online and stuff like that.
I'll tell you a couple so maybe I'll wait on the futures thing, but I got a couple futures for you. I've got a couple futures parlays already.
Okay. Do you have Pantoja, Ilya, and Potan? That's my future parlay.
None of those, but I believe they're all like minus money.
I think Pantoja's plus
minus 120. Like Pejeda's not even minus 120 in his next fight.
Yeah.
So I can't do that.
I'm going to be betting Pereira. So
Pereira. Yeah. The interestingly,
spoiler alert there.
Tatiana's plus 140. She's a favorite in this fight. If she beats Wei Li, nobody's beating Tatiana Suarez. But I'm not on that. I'm on Meno Fiora plus 200.
Okay.
I think she can stuff some takedowns against Shevchenko. I'm on Bilal plus 200. Okay. I actually played him pretty heavy at plus 190 against Shavkat before the Ian Gary fight. The fight has to take place by August 31st or it voids. Now Bilal's like plus 135. He's going to slam Shavkat on his head.
Okay.
I'm really confident in Bilal there. And then Aspinall minus 130. But the last juicy favorite future I hit was 14 months ago. It was plus 2,500 on Pereira to be the light heavyweight champ. And it was when there was all this talk about how he was way too big for middleweight. Light heavyweight division sucked at that time. So I hit the plus 2,500 Pereira.
That's awesome.
Last year, I did it way too many parlays. I did like 20 units in UFC futures parlays because it just got super reckless. And that's why I'm still so mad at John Jones to this day, is because like all my Tom Aspinall parlays missed because of John Jones' bitch ass.
Oh boy.
Such a fucking.
Yeah, that fight should happen. It better happen this year. Let's put it that way.
I'm on Tom for 5 units at minus 125 in that fight. It has to occur by August 31st as well.
I think it will.
It will. John said he's coming out with big news tomorrow. I made a post about it on Instagram.
Oh, it's probably going to be I'm going to fight
Chuck Liddell.
Cyril Gahn again.
I think it's going to be Chuck Liddell. He only wants to fight legends. He only wants to fight guys that will add to his legacy. I'm thinking it's Chuck Liddell.
Yeah. All right, hear me out.
I'm so happy. A lot of these props just came out in the last couple hours. So
Bruna Brazil money line plus 350, and one more.
I like that.
We're both kind of on her, and because you picked her, right?
I think I'm gonna officially pick her just because she's so juicy. But at plus 350, I think she's worth a bet.
Yeah,
especially
throw in.
Okay, so what I do like, the odds aren't out yet, but I really do like a Cody Steele round 3 KO. He always gets those. So I if I do like a really crazy wild leg parlay type thing.
What is this Cody Steele KO?
Bet Online probably has it, but I don't see it on.
Yeah, let me see. Where's Cody Steele? Cody Steele KO. Where are you? 250. We could do that.
Bet Rivers plus 260.
Okay. We could do Cody Steele. Let me find, I don't have it on DraftKings, but it'll be out tomorrow.
Parlay calculator here.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm doing right now. I think that'll be a good bet. Like it'll be plus over 1,000 for sure.
Yeah.
Plus 250, plus 350. Yeah, 1475. I like that.
Yeah, I think that's
down.
I'm down.
Okay, let's do Steel KO plus Brazil money line 14.75. That's gonna be the beer money. So you just throw the amount, how much it costs you to buy one beer, throw it on there. If you win, you're gonna have a lot of beers.
Yeah,
that's it.
I
think I like that a lot, actually.
Tapuria KO's plus 138 on Bet Rivers. I'm absolutely playing that as a straight bet.
I like that
when it comes out.
Yeah, I think that's a good play. That's a good play. This is a good play. Easy money is a good play. I know a lot of people can't do it, but I'll put some alternate stuff that's around the same price that maybe you can do for normal books. That way you can jump in on that as well. But I do like that plus 9.5 spread is it's too giving. It's like, oh my gosh, I have to play this.
I'm really amazed. Like they must think Drekus gets a late sub or something, which I don't see.
Yeah, because he's not going to win what? He needs to win like 349, 46s to lose that bet.
So, like, let's say he wins just 49. That would be 46-49.
Yeah, 46-49, yeah.
If he wins one round, the plus 9.5 hits.
Yeah.
That's insane. Tapuria to win in round 1 or 2 is minus 125 on Bet Rivers. I think that's a great spot for like 2.5 units to win 2.
Okay. I like that too.
He's a freaking monster, dude. Like, I know you've watched him too, so you know, like, but
I just worry a little bit just because he hasn't fought in a little bit, like a year and a half. He hasn't really fought the greatest of competition either. Not to say, like, and Colby's pretty decent, but I just think Tapuria has an edge on the feet for sure. He's way more dangerous, and he'll be able to stuff any takedowns I think Colby will do.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think he's so aggressive. I think he's going to go for a takedown in the first 30 seconds. He's going to go
he's going to be the one getting the takedowns, and maybe Colby will be okay even playing off his back. So,
yeah, he's just so vicious on top.
We'll see. It's going to be a fun fight. I'm interested in, like, there's a lot of, like I said, not a lot of name value on this card, but a lot of fun fights, a lot of, like, and usually, like, the UFC debut guys, especially if they're fighting other guys that aren't like super well known or experienced, like it's going to be a fun fight because they want to get their name out there. They want to get some finishes. They want the bonuses. I think it's going to be fun.
It is going to be fun. Yeah. Fun crowd, a bunch of rambunctious fellas in the crowd. Australian people are fun. So they're going to be rowdy.
Exactly. All right. Well, we'll get going. We'll leave everybody, thank you everybody for hanging out with us for a little over 2 hours, but let everybody know before you leave, Andrew, where they can find you and what you got going on.
It's Aaron.
I'm sorry. I said
no, not at all. I got a necklace like
you call you free, and that's why I'm like
yeah, free, yeah. So yeah, free UFC Bet Picks. It's kind of a mouthful. When I came up with the name, I didn't think people would have like such a hard time like remembering it. But even guys who love me, like Clint, I've been on Clint's show a million times. Clint never gets the name right, so it's just free.
I usually do. I'm like free UFC bets.
Yeah.
Oh, there's picks too.
Yeah, free UFC Bet Picks. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was a poor choice.
It's all good.
But yeah, on Instagram, put out a lot of great content there. We put out the fight cards so you can make your own picks on it, and
I use it.
Yeah, I appreciate you using it. And so much hard work that we do, that Johnny does. Really appreciate you all being here.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Definitely go into the description. Check out Aaron, free UFC Bet Picks on Instagram, Twitter, and also YouTube. He does great work on Patreon. So go over there, become a member of his. He kills it every year. I know that for a fact. He is awesome at parlays. So definitely, hopefully he gave you some good knowledge for this card, and at me as well, I guess. And we're going to win those bets, so I'm going to post those tomorrow. So definitely be on the lookout. So here we go. Good luck to everybody in their bets, all that good stuff. And we'll see you next week on Defend Your Units.